All right, what is up, everybody? Welcome in. We are back. We've got, of course, the NBA playoffs on in the background. We've got the NHL playoffs on in the background. We're waiting for Game 2. We're going to have a little bit of a NBA overlap here in a second with two playoff games. Right now, we've got the first match of the night, the Magic versus the Pistons, and we will have Suns versus Thunder in a second. But I guess until then, we decided why not on TV too. Give the hockey fans, give the hockey sport a little bit of recognition as well too. We'll keep those games on. I was thinking about throwing on a legendary NBA game, a classic game, but I just thought since hockey's in the playoffs, since the season winding down. Not to say that we're fans, but if we're gonna try to be, if we're gonna fake it, we only have a little bit of time left, with it kind of running parallel to the NBA there. I did see a story on the ESPN here that did catch my attention, but I think it went away. But it was. I mean, I guess it's just maybe the level of where those kind of stories are at now. But it was another gambling story. It was another player getting. Oh yeah, here it is, right here. NCAA's QB story entering gambling addiction program. Texas Tech transfer Brendan Sorsby, one of college football's top returning players, is checking into a residential treatment program for gambling addiction. The school announced Monday. So I guess shout out to Sorsby. I guess, the headline doesn't necessarily, lead you to believe that, of course. But that is that it, what does that mean, Chip? What does that mean for the games that he's played? I guess, I don't know, what is the NCAA gambling rules? I mean, I'm sure they're not fans of all types of gambling, but like if like Sorsby's like a big poker player, is that the same thing as betting on games? Like I don't is it restricting to all forms of gambling? Like if we have to ask, chat, if we have to ask, I don't know, but I guess it says Sorsby making bets in a variety of sports via gambling, which jeopardizes his eligibility. Sorsby's decision came in the wake of the discovery. Oh yeah, okay, so yeah, obviously I guess the investigation had already been laid out there. It is what it is. So I guess the updated headline is the what do you say, the redemption tour has started. He needs to rescue a man out of a burning car. Is essentially the move now. If you don't rescue a man out of a burning car after your name's in the headline, I don't know what you're doing. It seems like that is, the way to go. Sorsby bet on Indiana football while redshirting for the Hoosiers. I was going to say, who didn't this past year? But in 2022, honestly, they should drop the charges. Sorsby's a visionary, chat. I guess was Signetti even there yet? He might have been in James Madison. And I just realized that I just had this page up. Okay, no, you can see it as well there too. I was like, wait, did I open it up in a separate tab? But no, we're good to go there. But I guess he saw the vision beforehand. He played in which he played in a single game as the reserve. The bets in 2022, according to sources, were on Indiana to win, and none came in a game in which Sorsby appeared. So again, in classic sort of in the classic. And obviously there's not very many people that are like, do you let the guys bet on the sports? But it is, if he's betting on the team to win, if you are to make a bet, bet on your team to win. That's the one bet you can make. Again, the league, like, how does the league make those rules? They're like, Wemby, you can't use FanDuel, but if you want to bet on yourself to get triple doubles and, for the Spurs to win, then that's ahead. Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead and do that. But, if they just have to give them like special apps that like parent block all of the different, it's like, here's the app that you can have that has your prop bets on it. That's it. It's like Duncan Robinson only has the, Duncan Robinson, FanDuel Duncan Robinson version. And it's just Duncan Robinson over. It's not even the unders, right? Because you just bet the overs. It's just Duncan Robinson overs and just Piston overs. And then every player has a unique version of the app. The trading and stuff. But I feel like you get an update pretty easily. Because, again, it's just basically, adjusting whatever your production is at that point. Whatever the books is going to make your production. And then whatever team that you're on. And they're already setting those team bets anyways. It's just about, what do you have access to be able to bet on? So I think that would be. Does the league need to fight for that in the next CBA? I'm not sure. The Palo, DraftKings Palo Banchero version. He's like, what Palo? What bets are you making tonight? I don't know. I think I might parlay my points over with the Magic points over, and for us to win. That sounds like a good idea there, Palo. Why don't you go ahead and do that? I guess. And then, that does obviously get into some game plan stuff. If he's betting himself, over 35 every night for the odds, and now he's taking too many field goal attempts. Again, I'm sure it's not the perfect scenario for everybody. I get it. But, rest in peace, Pete Rose. That was the Pete Rose gambling thing. It was like, well, he bet on his team to win. He should be led in the Hall of Fame. And I guess, again, obviously, rest in peace legend. I don't know if we're here to unpack the whole Pete Rose story, but there is, some of that. Because I guess we have to go back and look. Was Jonte Porter betting the unders? Is that the part about the story? I guess the part about the story was, who is betting the Jonte Porter bets anyways? And, no disrespect to Jonte Porter. Jonte Porter, call in and defend yourself. Hey, yo. I guess use your one call to call. Oh, hey, yo. Hey, yo. It is what it is. But, regardless, either way, it's a little more unlikely that you're going to be just randomly placing bets on that type of player performance anyways. But I guess what do we say in Sorsby? As long as Sorsby's betting on his own team to win, it should be fine. There should be NCAA, FanDuel Brendan Sorsby edition, I guess. And then, again, it could get nasty. Like, you could then get into places where now, I guess, I don't know how you, we're not smart enough to know how you make money against that. I'm sure there's a way. I'm sure the mafia could get to you and figure out how to use the app against you. Hey, yo. And, I'm still sure that, there are ways to be corrupted by it. You can, maybe what if you start getting into sabotaging the player? Like, I need to get in to get playing time to get where I'm going to sabotage the guy in front of me for minutes. Hey, yo. Like, again, I'm sure there are things that could go wrong, even if you restrict it to they can only bet on their team to do well and only bet on themselves to do well. Or if a guy's just realistic, he's like, you know what? I'm not going to be taking, I'm going to be making passes tonight and rebounds. Maybe I'm not going to hit the over on the points, but that's okay. There needs to be that version of the under on the FanDuel. It's like over, under, and then under, but that's okay. Under, but it's still a good game. He had a great, under the points performance, but it was still a very, very productive box score. It doesn't mean that he had a bad game at all, but either way, I guess, hey, yo, who's surprised now? It is what it is. These guys are... FanDuel's just in the App Store. It's not like it's that, the line is right there. It's not that crazy. And then, again, I guess I don't, we don't know how easy it is to try. As I'm sitting here on the couch right now, if I was an NCAA athlete, and I just am staring at the FanDuel app on my phone, I guess any type of pro player, right? Because, again, the Pete Rose, like, it's not like, I guess thinking about, with Simpson and McVay and the Rams, like, if McVay wants to bet on some Ty Simpson unders or something like that, or Ty Simpson wants to, it's not like the NFL guys can bet on themselves. I'm not, again, I guess it's just, it's frowned upon. It is what it is. But, either way, for the player performance part of it, again, I feel like there is a, even if it was only betting the positive, there would still be a way for it to go wrong. But, shout out. We do, like we said, have some NBA to keep up with here, along with hockey. Are we making bets as well, too? Only positive bets? I don't know. But... like I'm saying, I don't know how long it would, I don't know how they track you. I don't know how they get your phone. Like, your phone's just like everybody else. What if I download FanDuel real quick in this state, place a couple bets, then if you delete the app chat, you're golden, right? They're never gonna know. And then you do it like 4 times a year or 4 times a season, maybe 3, 4. Hey, yo. Like, I guess if you're going in debt, if you're needing the rehab, the addiction rehab, then that's a different story. But I'm just talking about, I guess, the getting caught by the NCAA part. I guess we didn't read that part of the investigation. So somebody has to snitch, right? Hey, yo, he's talking about like his parlay that he made with somebody. I guess, is it possible? I guess somebody out there is getting away with it right now. It is what it is. See, that's the thing. That's the thing. As we sit back, we think all these... Somebody in this Pistons Magic game, I guarantee you bet on this game. You know? We just need to be more... It's like, it is what it is. You know, I guess I don't know how we be more realistic. Maybe we need to be better at enforcing it and checking it. I don't know. You know, again, with the apps on the phones, I don't know how you know, keep it out of the guy's reach. It is what it is because the access is right there. But there's no way. There's no way that not one of these Pistons versus Magic players doesn't have fan. And, you know, hey, yo, we don't need the, you know, we don't need the lawyers in the REMINGTOM pod DMs. Or maybe, you know, call in and defend yourself. Anybody from the Pistons and Magic who, if you're upset by our allegations, call in and defend yourself. You know, it is what it is. If all of a sudden Tobias Harris is like, ring, wait, no, I am not gambling. Either way, you know, there's just no way. I guess we have 3 NBA games tonight. We've got Denver, Minnesota as well, too. We already mentioned OKC versus Phoenix. They're warming up for that one right now. And like we said, we do have Orlando versus Detroit. There's just no way. There's no way. Can we run some odds? Speaking of, do we have to pull up the chat GPT? What are the odds that at least one player in 6 NBA teams has bet on a game tonight? And, you know, I'm not even saying they're betting on themselves. But there's just, we can't even use names as examples, I feel like, in this conversation. You know, speaking of how do they track you down and get you, chat. Hey, yo, we're going to figure out how these lawyers track you down for defamation lawsuits. It is real quick. It is what it is. But I'm just saying, you know, prove me wrong if there was this many just friends hanging out, or, you know, if you just collected this many random people on the street and just was like, okay, you know, every person that passes by, I'm going to ask them about if they have FanDuel. Like, if you get to 6 NBA teams worth of people, you're probably going to find one person that has FanDuel. And again, like, the NBA team is not even the biggest team of the teams. Hey, yo, you know, in terms of the roster size. And I got to say, Jalen Duren, they just showed the Pistons on the graphic outro there going to commercial. Jalen Duren getting kind of close to Brow level, you know. Obviously, there is some mini Anthony Davis level play there as well, too, and just the way he plays his game. But getting real close to, you know, maybe Anthony Davis comps in other ways. Hey, yo. I guess are we stealing his nickname? I don't know. But, yeah, I guess... you know, again, I don't know what that means. And, you know, there is some stuff about obviously the NBA product and where it's been at in the last couple of years, and the fact that maybe there is, of course, the scriptedness to it. But, you know, if you're gambling on these games and you're the players, hey, yo, you know, maybe there is like, you know, certain self-fulfilling prophecies going on throughout the games that are being played. You know, guys betting on themselves, guys betting on each other. You know, maybe the storylines are unofficially being written through the fact that these guys are just now actually, you know, predetermining the outcomes in their bets. And, you know, whether it's conscious or subconscious, it's like a little bit of a Scorsese mafia movie. It's a little bit of a Black Mirror episode. It's a little bit of a combo of both. It's like the infiltration of the, you know, because we've seen and that's the thing. We've seen all these pieces are in place, and they've already been uncovered. We've already seen mafia connections being uncovered. Like we're saying, we already know players get caught doing this stuff. So it's still happening. Just because, you know, Chauncey Billups and the La Costa Nostra got taken down, and you know, earlier in the year, doesn't mean that there's not some new syndicate that hasn't formed. You know, the NBA is still a fertile ground to be made. Money is still there to be made. Just because one organization got caught. You know, I can think of several other, you know, enterprises that just because one organization gets caught, other organizations are going to arise. Other individuals are going to arise. Hey, yo. it is what it is. They're going to arise anyways and try to, compete and take over or whatever. You don't even need to just get caught or get wiped out. But just because they caught one ring of people in the league, one player here, one player there, there's a reason they keep catching people doing it. Because people, what are we talking about if you're just walking into the chat? We're talking about gambling in sports, chat. We're talking about gambling in sports. There's a reason that they keep catching these players and these, organizations involved, because they're still involved. They're still involved, and the players are still doing it. And it's only getting more popular. It's only getting more popular again. It's getting, more legalized. The way that you can play, like now, like the prize picks and stuff, even like when FanDuel and DraftKings were first introduced, that's still like, in terms of sports evolution, the sports betting evolution, that is like, okay, the do you say genre? I don't know. The segment, the industry, there we go. The industry of sports gambling, has really taken and developed a long ways to where it's now apps on a phone. But even then, that's like a new starting point. Those early apps were like, wild. It's just like, basically putting pages of bets on there, and then you're just scrolling through pages of bets trying to figure it out. Now you've got prize pick situations in these apps where it's like, hey, if you here, we're giving you 2 out of 3. We're giving you 4 choices, and if you get 3 out of 4 of them right, like you can cash in positive money and win. And it's like, now I don't even know if it's betting or, crypto games for sports winning money. It's like, we don't even know what's happening anymore. But there's just no way. There's no way. Should we ask the chat? Should we ask Gemini? I guess we need the modern rosters. I guess. Answering the question. It's us just asking the question. That's all it is. We're just asking the question. Gemini can get sued here because it's the one speculating this answer. But let's see what it what? Hey, yo, chat. I mean, I guess we'll see how it determines this. I don't know. What player is most likely? Again, the lawyers, please don't get in the chat. To have gambled on a game tonight. I feel like we need to ask it, more specifically. What player? What NBA player? Okay, I guess we need to be. What NBA player? Currently or not currently? What NBA player playing? Hey, yo, chat, we can't even ask it the question, I guess. I guess legal terminology, it can get tricky. What NBA player playing in a game tonight is most likely to have gambled on a game tonight? I guess, yeah, that's a clear way to ask it. What NBA player playing in a game tonight is most likely to have gambled on a game tonight? Hey, yo. So, and again, is it illegal if Paolo Banchero downloads, FanDuel to bet on the NHL playoff game? I haven't read the league rule book in that way. But I guess we'll see if Gemini is allowed to speculate. Is it allowed to allegedly is it allowed to make allegedlys in this case? The NBA is currently in the first round of the playoffs. Blah, blah, blah. We got the 3 games that we mentioned. While the players the players have rules to protect their massive contracts, the league has recently dealt with significant. Okay, so yeah, it's going to mention Terry Rozier, Jonte Porter, Chauncey Billups, some of the big recent gambling scandals that the league has faced. But who is most likely, quote unquote, to gamble? Hey, yo, chat, we'll see what it says. Drum roll. Statistically speaking, insider trading in the NBA often involves role players or those with volatile injury statuses. Oh, Chad, I like this. It's giving us real explanations. So maybe, again, are we going to throw out names? Oh, Chad, now we're going to get sued. It is what it is. If we ever mention this, it's got to be now. Oh, Chad, Tristan da Silva has the basketball right now. Like, is it Tristan da Silva? It could be Anthony Black. He's been a little struggling offensively. And Duran has been struggling offense. Duran might be the best player right now that might be gambling on the games. And we're just talking about this Magic Pistons game as well, too. You got to think about all the other games. I guess, shout out. DiVincenzo probably didn't, he's probably not betting on the games. That's probably not what happened there. Is Dosunmu betting the overs? Maybe Dosunmu bet the overs, and then there was some DiVincenzo sabotagery going on there. I don't know. But for who else do we have? Oh, the Thunder as well, too. A kind of a role player, an injured role player. I don't know, like the other Jalen Williams, chat, that could be the plot twist. The other Jalen Williams, he's like, I'm sick of being called the other Jalen Williams. I want to be my own Jalen Williams. I want to, and now it's like, well, a gambling scandal? I don't know. So I guess, hey, shout out to everybody we just mentioned. It is what it is. But who else do we got over here? I mean, we're not going to name our Michigan men, though. There are some Michigan guys that are some role players with some injury history that may fit the description, but they would never. Well, I guess, hey, they might, chat. They might. I'm not saying they've had their moments in the past, but, shout out. And, again, now it's one of those things. It would be legal now. It's not like it's not, well, they weren't gambling. I guess it was different. They were taking, well, I guess we have to go back and see everything that, but again, the Fab Five was great. So we just, think of the good times, or, the good moments that they were able to produce, because I guess we weren't there, so I don't know if we can really say, think of the good times. But either way, what is it going to say? Most likely insider trading, prop bet targets, players whose underlines on points or minutes are heavily betted are the ones who the league's integrity monitors, like sports radars, watch closest, high profile, historically players facing financial pressure. Uh-oh, chat. Are those with ties to underground gambling circles? Okay, yes, that would also increase your likelihood to, be involved in those type of things, as seen in 2025 FBI probes, are the outliers. The reality is, because tonight's games are playoff games, the likelihood of a player gambling on their own game is extremely low, chat. Hey, it's going to take the easy way out. It's going to take the easy way out. It is what it is. The stakes for their careers are intense monitoring of every moment by both the NBA and sportsbooks, making it one of the hardest times to fix anything. Note, betting on your own sport is a violation of the NBA's collective bargaining agreement and can lead to a lifetime ban and criminal charges. Hey, it is what it is. Oh, chat, look at this. If someone is struggling with gambling, this is from the GPT. You can call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. Hey, who bought the URL for this 1-800-GAMBLER line? Because they are making bank, chat. They are making bank. They just slap that on every time gambling gets mentioned. You have to call 1-800-GAMBLER, and then I'm sure that goes back to the casino somehow. It is what it is. But it's giving us the formula here. It's giving us the formula. It said, like we said, the injuries, the role players, and financial pressure as well, too. So I don't know if we're going to be able to necessarily, I guess, we don't want to, which player is in the most debt. We're not going to be, I don't really start using the Gemini for some sneaky things there. But I guess we could look at some games played and see who has been dealing with some of the injuries this year. And again, if we look at maybe some of the offensive performances from the playoffs, I don't know. And Wendell Carter has been good in the playoffs, so maybe he's betting the overs. I don't know. I feel like he's been kind of playing a little bit better so far. Can we get Magic basic stats here? 11 points a game, but 58% from the field, so, very, very productive so far. 11. We got Franz at 16, Suggs at 16, Bane at 18, Paolo at 22. Bane at 36% from the field, Suggs at 39. Anthony Black at 6 points a game, 26% from the field, 25% from three. And De Silva, 3 points a game, and he has played in 47 minutes. So, not too crazy. But for Detroit, Duncan Robinson, 9 points a game, 43% from the field. So that's where you got him, taking threes. That's what you want. Duren, though, 41% from the field, 9 points, 8 rebounds. Like, what is happening, chat? What is happening with Duren? One of the weirdest playoff stat lines, or, just weirdest playoff box scores that a player's putting up. 19 and 10 in the regular season. Hey, yo. 11th in Defensive Player of the Year voting, I guess, is not, crazy. But, maybe an All-NBA case like we said before, and I guess led the playoffs last time in offensive rebounds per game, but just hasn't necessarily showed that same effectiveness in this matchup so far. Honestly, Isaiah Stewart's probably been a little bit better so far. It is what it is. I don't know if his numbers have necessarily been better, but his field goal percentage bit lower, but his efficiency and production when he's been in there has been fine. And Dennis Jenkins, I guess maybe not on the same hot streak that he was in the regular season there for a second, 29% from the field as well too. Asar is playing well, and Tobias Harris, 41% from the field, 18% from three. He would be his contracts. He's done so well in the NBA in his contracts that it would be a little surprising if Tobias Harris was facing like financial pressure. But maybe sometimes that extra boost maybe gets you in the trouble a little bit. You get to rolling in cash. You're like, I can do anything I want. Tobias Harris, like, I'm the highest paid player in the league at some point. This is gonna go on forever. And then it's like, oh, wait a second, maybe not. But I would say maybe Tobias Harris, you're on the gambling watch list. Hey, yo, is this what it is? The Remin Sam gambling watch list? Who is betting on the games tonight? So Tobias Harris, you're on watch. It is what it is. We just have to, it's a very field goal percentage oriented metric. Hey, yo, to give it a sort of a scientific term. It's a very, like we said, field goal percentage oriented metric. So 41% is not going to help you there. I guess, again, for Robinson, he's got the 3-point percentage to balance it out and the Michigan alumni degree. I guess, does he have a degree or does he just got the box score? Hey, yo. Either way, that means you're good, chat. That means you're good. It is what it is. Your colors are correct around here. But what do we got for Karis LeVert's been, I guess, 50% from he's 4 for 8 from the field. So honestly, you'll take it from Karis LeVert. Pause. What does he have for turnovers? Only 1 turnover in 22 minutes? Perfect. You're doing fine. So, and again, Karis LeVert went to Michigan, so he's fine. He's good. There's nothing to worry about. He's an upstanding NBA player and would never do anything to ever violate the league rules. And I guess even if he did, we're willing to look the other way. Or, again, he would never do anything to violate the league rules. But Holland, Sasser, I guess Holland, he's been running around, hasn't done too much. Javonte Green, maybe Javonte Green. Hey, yo, kind of veteran, been in the league for a while, chat. Ooh, Javonte Green. Tobias Harris is like the guy, he's like casting, again, he gets casted high and up the, what do you say, up the billing? Is that right? The right way to say it? Where it's like, okay, well, if you cast Tobias Harris, then maybe he is the villain here. Again, but Javonte Green would be kind of the sleeper, way under the radar option, I guess. Because, again, sort of the bounce around the league veteran status. I don't know if he's ever had, like, the one sort of, obviously I'm not saying maximum deal, but if you are, again, speaking of Duncan Robinson, or like Tobias Harris did get kind of a max deal, but like Duncan Robinson, if you are a really good skills guy or, good role player in a certain way, you can get that, pretty good middle-sized contract. 20, 25 million. I don't know if Javonte Green ever got, and then back then as well too, like 17, 18 million dollars a year, something like that. Maybe he was in like the 12 to 13 million dollar a year range. So that would still be obviously, hey, yo, you're still doing pretty good. It is what it is. But, is it enough to get you out of the gambling watch list? So we're gonna be hearing from the lawyers of Tobias Harris and Javonte Green, but it is what it is. We have to do our part to make sure that we're upholding the integrity of the league. So if they need to sue us to cover their gambling debts, then so be it, chat. Then so be it. But for the Magic, like we said, Anthony Black, you're on the watch list. It is what it is. You're on the gambling watch list. 26% from the field. You're gonna have to get that up. It is what it is. You're gonna have to, and again, even if you go to 32, if it just takes a big leap forward, that would really do a wonder in the investigation backing off. It is what it is. But for what are we saying? For now, 26% is a little too low. It is what it is. He might be gambling on the teams. I don't know there. I don't know. But and then Desmond Bane is above 40 from 3. So if you're above 40 from 3, again, if Anthony Black, what's he at right now from 3 percentage? So that could be the secret. He's 2 for 8 right now. So if he goes 3 for his next 2 and gets to 5 for 10, is that possible? I don't know. Can he go? How quickly can he get to 50% or 40%? I guess for 3. I guess he doesn't need to get to 50. He needs to get to 40. So if he hits his next 2, he would be 4 for 10. So is he 2 for 2 tonight from 3? Then he would officially be. We wouldn't have to worry about Anthony Black taking the FanDuel paycheck or whatever. I guess the La Costa Nostra. Let's see what we've got here tonight. Has he taken a 3-pointer? He's 0 for 0. He hasn't taken any. He's 1 for 3, so he has chilled out a little bit. That's good. Jalen Suggs 0 for 4. Where's he at? Oh, Jalen Suggs might go on the list, chat. I'm not sure. 39% from the field, 32% from 3, and he's 0 for 3 from 3 tonight. Banchero 0 for 4. See, Wagner, like we said, Michigan, man, 6 for 11. He might be out. Jet Howard's fine. Jet Howard would never. Jace Richardson, though, from Michigan State. I don't know, check. Is there any Ohio State guys we can call it? All the Ohio State guys are the first ones that should be looked at. It is what it is. Anybody that went to Ohio State is definitely being investigated for the Remington Pod is launching a gambling investigation against the Ohio State alum. In the NBA, we've got an anonymous source, chat. Hey, yo, an anonymous source, a RICO case. We're gonna bring them all down. It is what it is. Either way, I didn't expect us to be in our Elliot Ness vibes tonight, but hey, yo, we're policing the league. It is what it is. We're keeping a close eye on the game. But I guess for the one, I guess we wouldn't necessarily. Would we snitch, chat? I guess if somebody was like, "Hey, did you hear that Terry Rozier was betting on games?" I mean, how would we even, right? Would we DM Adam Silver on Instagram and be like, "Hey, I overheard something the other day that maybe Terry Rozier is, I think maybe the information would be, it is what it is. The information would be cool enough. I guess you gotta let it go. It is what it is, and just assume that they'll fix it in its own time. But again, the competitive integrity of the league, you do want to uphold that. You do want to. If you're playing in a pickup, if I was playing in a pickup game, I'd want it to be, quote unquote, as fair as possible. I'm not saying like, even teams and things like that. You just don't want the other people, if you're in a pickup game where somebody's just like aggressively not trying or something like that, then it's just like, okay, this is obviously kind of killing the vibe of the game. That's a different version than somebody, but it is kind of the same. And some of those Terry Rozier clips were like that, where it's just like Terry Rozier is just no longer trying in the game. And, again, I guess there's enough other high-level basketball going on to, well, not even mask it, because it got investigated. It is what it is. It was so obvious at one point that it got investigated. But, hey, yo, chat. And we didn't even make it, so shout out. I guess we only made it to the one game for the watch list. It is what it is. We'll have to go through the other teams and see who is, potentially who fits the description for, what did we say, role player, high injuries, and then financial pressure. Hey, yo, it is what it is. I guess we have to. What was exactly? Do we have info on what exactly Terry Rozier's financial pressure was? arrested in connection with an illegal betting scheme, was accused of leaking insider info, specifically that he would be sitting out or leaving the game due to injury. So his associates could bet his underprops. Oh, so he wasn't actually betting the games as well, too. He was just... See, Chad, that's how easy it is to get involved. Do you know how easy it is to get involved? He's not even... If we're just, you know, getting this Gemini summary of this from last year, right? Like, you know, he's not even betting the games himself. He's not even betting he's literally just calling a friend and telling him if he's playing or not tonight. And then, you know, not to say that unfortunately that friend is, you know, doing whatever. And, you know, at some point there is, you know, again, the integrity to, I guess, do whatever. Like, you know, if the information that you can put out there is at risk of being used against you like this, then, you know, you have to obviously be smart with how you're putting it out there. And not to say that, again, it got turned against him. I'm sure, I think it was, you know, intentionally, the information was intentionally being relayed in that type of way. But again, it's not like Terry Rozier has to have FanDuel downloaded on his phone or crazy connections to, you know, go into like it's not like he has to be like Joe Pesci and they have to take him into the, you know, the room every time. And it's like, hey, yo, you know, has to tell him whether or not he's playing. You know, they gets escorted into the mob boss's house, and then he's like, oh, you know, I'm Terry Rozier and I'm not playing tonight. And then they escort him back out, and it's like, whatever. You know, he just tells the guy. He's like, are you playing? No? Okay, then do whatever. Are you playing a lot? Yeah, you're going to leave due to injury? Okay, we'll bet the unders. You know, you're going to chuck a couple passes out to the sideline when you're in the game? We'll bet the unders. Easy enough. That is the part where it does get a little sketchier. Like, you do have to be better with your on-the-court play. The way you disguise your on-the-court play in that sense, because Terry Rozier was bad. I mean, Terry Rozier was like... People were posting montages of his play, being like, this man is betting on the league. This man is betting on him. This man is betting against himself. Like, there's nobody that plays like this. This is so egregiously bad. There was a couple where he just, like, turned and then rolled the ball out of bounds. And you're just like, there's nobody, you know, nobody does this in the history of the league. Hey, yo. We're like, CTE is not usually a problem in the NBA. Like, Terry Rozier might have CTE, like, be playing with CTE. And then it's like, no, actually, he's just gambling on the games. Oh, okay. There we go. It was, and I guess they didn't issue Terry Rozier a lifetime ban. Is that still going on there? They still kind of want, just in case somebody needs him for a playoff run. You know, Jonte Porter, unfortunately, you know, not there. But NBA famously issued lifetime ban for Jonte Porter after he was caught manipulating his own statistics for betting purposes. Hey, yo. And I mean, how does Jonte Porter even manipulate his own statistics, chat? It is what it is. This remains the gold standard for what the league is trying to prevent. Hey, yo. It is what it is. Is it scripted? You know, Jonte Porter, kind of the lesser, you know, fame Porter brother. The league goes to him. They're like, hey, we'll make you famous. You want to, you know, be a sort of, you know, I guess, I'm not trying to, you know, say be an example. But, you know, again, do they like, hey, you want to do this thing for us? And then maybe we'll cut you a check, and yeah, you know, I guess you maybe won't play in the NBA again, but you'll make more money doing this than you would in the NBA. Like, how much are you making, you know, again, bouncing around the league and then maybe playing overseas for a little bit? If the league is going to give you $20 million, is Jonte Porter going to make? I guess you might now in the NBA. You know, that's the thing. I don't know what I guess we have to look up. We have to pocket watch Jonte Porter real quick. What was Jonte Porter? Literally, what was his career earnings? Because make no mistake, he gambled them all away. It is what it is. But Jonte Porter, I guess, yeah, only 2 years. 2 years, $2 million. So a couple of Exhibit 10 contracts, a free agent, 3 years, $5 million. Non-taxpayer mid-level extension, 2 years. So, you know, he would have had to have played in the league for 10 years at $2 million. I mean, he definitely could have got there. He definitely could have got there, but it's no guarantee. It's no guarantee. So if the league goes to him and says, hey, do you want to take this $20 million check to, you know, be a representative of what not to do? Because especially as it starts to move into this new era as well, too, where they're like, hey, you know, do we want to get to the point where we actually have a guy that's, you know, a 3-time All-NBA player, and then all of a sudden he's caught with the gambling scandal, and now all of a sudden, you know, one of the stars of the league is, you know, now all of a sudden playoff games are looking tainted in a certain way. Like we can get a famous, name involved, because how many other guys have brothers in the league as well too? And if you like, I mean, I don't want to speculate either way. I'm not saying anything about either one's characters. Again, would I take the bag for 20 mil to be the guy that got caught gambling in the league? I think that'd have to be I think it's a smart casting decision, honestly. I feel like, hey, if we crush the audition, it is what it is. But for, you go to Seth Curry and say, hey, you want to take $20 million to be a guy that gets caught in a gambling scandal? Like, that would be crazy. That would be insane. And, again, that would be the fame name level as well, too, to sort of get there. Now, Seth Curry is at 51.6 million career earnings. So he could get to 70 mil. I mean, at any, I guess not any guy you're going to give 20 mil. But again, as any guy at this level that we're looking at, you're going to give 20 mil. It's going to be, it's going to be something. Is it 10 mil? Is 20 mil too much? I'm trying to make it an undeniable number, but is it 10? Is it 12.5 mil? Maybe. Like, that's still pretty crazy at that point. Again, for sort of a one job situation. Hey, I don't know if that's a pause or not, but again, I just don't think Seth Curry is doing this on principle to matter. I think he's made a lot of money. I don't think he wants to be lifetime banned from the league. I guess that is the tough part, is they again have to lifetime ban you. So Jontay Porter can't go back and coach, but I guess you can always undo the ban, right? You can always undo the ban. It's not like, again, it's not like he committed, a crime like that. Again, he got caught gambling in the league. So not say that that's, again, that's not good for the integrity of the league, obviously, but it's still one of those things that, 20 years, can he get back into the league, on good behavior? I'm sure it'll be fine. If Jontay Porter is really just for some reason, a really great coach, and it's like the man just knows how to coach offense. The man just knows how to draw up a play. It is what it is. He knows how to diagram and really, dissect and lay things out. And, it's what he was meant to do. Then maybe there is a case that the league gets, has a second thought and lets him back in, pause. But, again, Seth Curry's not doing this. I can't think of any other brothers in the league as well, too. I know there's, other ones. I guess the Harpers, Dylan and Ron Harper, but they're not, I don't think they're doing it either, pause. Like, their dad as an NBA player, I think they're too into the competitiveness thing. And, Dylan and Ron Harper weren't even that famous in 2024 in terms of, Dylan and Ron Harper Dylan Harper was in the NBA, and, Ron Harper still was kind of, Junior was he still at Rutgers, or he was kind of in the G League working his way around again? Now he has become an actual role guy for Boston, a contributor to the team. But I don't feel like he's probably not doing it either, pause. So do we need a list of NBA families for them to, have that? Because it's sort of the name value thing. It's the name value thing. Terry Rozier, maybe he's doing that in his own right. Again, that's afterwards. It is what it is. But the whole question going back to the John, it's why is Jontay Porter, how is he manipulating his stats? Why are there even the Jontay Porter odds out there? And then it was the Jontay Porter odds are out there to catch these people that are doing this thing. So apparently, turns out it's Jontay Porter himself. It was hey, maybe the league just gave him a couple bucks to be let however you want to phrase it. Hey, do this scandal for us, and then, it'll be fine. It is what it is. So, hey, chat, Allegation City to start tonight. It is what it is. I guess we've alleged too much. We have alleged too much. It is what it is in terms of the gambling side of the NBA world for the NBA playoffs. But, Pistons Magic has been a real first half battle in terms of, it is now, really starting, not to say that it didn't feel like playoff time, the first couple of games here in the series, just having some of these weird results as well too. But in terms of the intensity and the urgency that the teams are playing with, you can really see it with Detroit and Orlando here. tonight in this matchup. And like we said, we do have the Thunder versus the Suns about to start as well too. And I think the Thunder are looking 3-0. So Devin Booker, Chet, Ayo, he's only got one more game to go and then he can go home. It is what it is, and then he can end the season. I mean, it's been a good season for him though. It's, definitely been a little bit of a crash and burn playoffs, maybe a little frustrating with some of the playoff results with the refs and things like that. Ayo, 11.5 is not bad, Chad. It's not bad. Is that the closest line of the series so far? 29% win percentage? Can Phoenix get swept? I don't know. And all of a sudden, there was a moment where when Portland was down, or when Portland was not down, when San Antonio was down to Portland in Game 3, and it was like all of a sudden it's going to be, Portland's going to be up on the series 2-1, and with the way that the Lakers have been looking against the Rockets, and now Jokic is out, and all of a sudden, is OKC going to lose a game in the Western Conference playoffs? Like, it might not happen. Most consecutive first-round wins in NBA playoff history. I mean, Chad, it's the Lakers from 84 to 90, a couple birds. I mean, do we have to back up the live stream and see that? Every time they keep saying these historic stats with the Thunder now, not to say that they, again, Shea was having seasons equivalent to MJ and stuff, so there's already been a certain of a historic, sense that this team has already been in the mix with, but for, again, the team run as well too. I know they don't, they haven't even had really a chance to have the second title yet because we're still in the playoffs, but they're just quickly becoming a team that is statistically mentioned with all of these, again, historic great teams here. So this was most consecutive first round wins NBA playoff history. Lakers 84 to 90, 20 games. The Cavs 2010 to 2017, 14 games, but that's LeBron era Cleveland in there as well too. Bulls, both MJ Bulls eras, but a little afterwards as well. You got 90 to 95, 14, and then 95 to 05, 13. And then the Thunder 24 to 26, 11 games. The Heat 12 to 16, 11 games. 11-0 in the first round over the last 3 playoffs. Again, just if we're talking about how they have gotten it started. So they have set the tone in every single one so far. But that's the second time that we've seen them on a list now with that Lakers team. And it's like, oh, man, what does that mean? It is what it is. Again, the way the series for the Spurs and Blazers has flipped, and the Spurs have that confidence. I mean, the way that the sort of Nuggets and Wolves have beat up on each other in this series, and the way that's kind of playing out, that's another one that overnight, now all of a sudden you're looking at the Spurs path going, what happened there? Just in terms of it getting maybe perceptionally a little bit easier. But for OKC anyways, again, there is a historic level that they're already working with, but in those teams being drafted as well too, I guess maybe not necessarily that Miami team, but there is something about the draftedness and the way the teams are assembled that kind of goes into some of the legendary stuff. That Warriors team is obviously, probably the best assembled team that we've ever had with adding Durant into it. I mean, they are basically drafted as well too, but that's why we always think about that Warriors run, I think more so as, the Warriors core. And then, yes, they have that Durant part of it there as well too. That does have to be included because of how awesome it was. But for the most part, when you talk about it, it is kind of the Curry, Thompson, Durant situation that is, again, what you think of when you're thinking about that Warriors run, comparing it to history. And for you just kind of have to put Durant into a core somewhere. I guess Durant and Westbrook are the duo that you think of there, really, is what it is. It is kind of nice to give pause, but everybody kind of their own unique situation as well too. I know with the Lakers and the Celtics from back in the day, both those teams were stacked as well too. So it's a little hypocritical to say that we can't have stacked teams now, but for Durant, anyways, you know, the Durant and Westbrook combo, just from the NBA history mindset of it, like, that's just what you're always thinking about. Anyways, I know it's a little, I guess, off subject from Thunder versus Phoenix, but hey, yo, do we got to get the other playoff games switched over here? We still haven't necessarily gone through the the NFL draft properly, since it has, you know, completed as well too. So we do want to do that here on this live stream. A quick review of what happened, or not so quick, but, you know, a review. We'll just say a review of what happened in the NFL draft, now that we have the full picture of what the teams were actually going for. So stay tuned. Like we said, we got more NBA playoffs, NFL draft reactions as well right after this. All right, we are back. We've got the third quarter underway for Detroit versus Orlando. And like we said, Shea versus Devin Booker about to get fired up here. So let's at least get the draft pulled up so we can take a look and see what was happening there. Because we did go live during round one, so you guys can check that out. We did go live during round two, but had some technical difficulties, so you guys can't check that one out. But now we can actually take a look at what the teams were able to do in full as well. AO. But for, obviously, I guess we have been having some technical difficulties here in the last couple of minutes as well, too. So we'll see. Is the draft even going to load? Okay, here we go. It is what it is. I remember some of the picks. I don't remember exactly how many we could get through there. Oh, that's right. I guess I didn't necessarily remember off the top Deion Burks in the 7th to the Colts, but we are a fan. We are a fan. Is that our favorite pick? It is what it is. It might be, though. CJ Allen is good as well too. The Colts do have a fun history of having linebacker type players, and then seems like Halsey can be a impact guy potentially right away. So that's just good value as well too. Who do we have to see who was on the board in the 2nd for safety? Because not having the 1st round pick, I guess Tiananmen, maybe that's kind of the one that's gonna bite there. I mean, we would have been at 16, I guess, like we said on draft night. Chris Ballard, jealous that the Jets took a tight end with his pick. Ruben Bain, 1 pick ahead of us, I guess would have just made us super jealous more than anything. It's not a realistic possibility. So like we said, Tiananmen went 25 if we wanted to go that route. There wasn't another 1st round running back. So I don't know. Would Ballard have tried to trade up for Sonny Styles or something like that? Mesidor, maybe some along those lines. But I could have seen Tiananmen there with that pick. That would have been honestly a pretty good situation. So that'll be, I guess, fun to go see the tape there and see I'll make the case now for Halsey over Tiananmen. I guess he wasn't the 3rd safety taken. I guess we can actually just look by safeties as well too. 2nd round, Traden Stucks from Arizona was 3rd off the board, and I guess converted safeties. And then Emmanuel McNeil Warren as well going to Cleveland. We did like their draft. We mentioned that. Bud Clark to TCU. Or from TCU to Seattle. So that Seattle haven't drafted the defense the last couple of years. And Bud Clark, the name for some reason just sounds like a Seattle defender. I don't know why, but I think it'll make sense. They lost 2 key starters in their offseason in Tariq Woolen and Kobe Bryant as well. So gets to be a replacement there. And then I guess the Colts went with Halsey after that. Holkey, I guess we're just saying the name. Oh, Jacoby Thomas from Miami. So there is just the Miami factor of getting a guy from that defense. Hey, did Ballard not watch the playoffs at all? Maybe he was watching too much Nussmeier tape. It was like, who is this safety? I guess it wouldn't have been that way, because if you're watching Nussmeier tape, you're watching the LSU offense. He could have been watching whole LSU games just because of that as well too. But I imagine if he was watching Nussmeier, he would have been just watching. He would have just been watching, LSU offensive tape. And I guess the Colts didn't take Nussmeier. Why didn't we take Nussmeier or take a quarterback? I guess we keep after remembering that maybe Riley Leonard is okay. What's the difference between Riley Leonard and Grant Nussmeier? I don't know, but just give them both a chance. Why not? Just see what you have there. So yeah, Jacoby Thomas, Jaden Kennedy from Oregon, Genesis Smith. Hey, Kamari Ramsey. I guess just the names of the safeties. Bud Clark as well too. Great. And then our guy Kilgore as well. That's right. He went in the 5th round. So I don't know. I don't know if, again, it's just our own sort of names that we're familiar with. Lorenzo Styles. Hey, began his career. He's also the kid, right? He's also Sonny Styles' brother, I guess is the other way to say it. Or, Sonny Styles is his brother. Hey, I guess either way. But began his career as a wide receiver at Notre Dame, transferring to Ohio State. 2.740 was the second fastest overall at the combine. At safety, he still is a raw player who struggles to make open field tackles and lacks some coverage qualities. Has good ball skills, make plays when in position, make up for his exceptional closing speed. Styles is a willing player in run support, and he has the athletic tools to immediately contribute on special teams. buying in some time to continue developing at safeties. But, just I guess the athletic profile is interesting to invest in, and the, the, I guess, lineage as well, too, if that's the right way to say it. But, yeah, Jacoby Thomas would have been interesting. Very physical box safety who plays with fearless around the line of scrimmage. When blitzing, he plays with good timing and triggers quickly. He takes good pursuit angles with very good closing speed, is a physical downhill tackler, but struggles more in space. When in the box, he's very active and makes his presence felt. Whoa, hey, hey, Chad. I mean, why? We'll just say it. We've had that scouted description. We can't even say it, Chad. We can't even say it. It is what it is. We've had that scouting description about ourselves before. I mean, it feels too obvious. That's the problem. It's low-hanging fruit. Hey, it is what it is. But either way, if they say it, it's, you're still going to be happy about it. It'll still put a smile on your face. It is what it is. If they give you the scouting report, where'd that sentence go? Is a physical, struggles more in space. Oh, not the struggles in space when in the box. What did I say? When in the box, he is active and makes his presence felt. I mean, again, it raises my mood right now just thinking about it. It is what it is. But Thomas, Thomas will over pursue at times, but usually disrupts about contact. He plays with active hands and is good at punching or ripping out the ball. He shows the ability to flip his hips and turn and run with receivers in main coverage, but has troubles with shiftier receivers in space. So I guess, maybe you don't want him as your slot corner, which I guess, at safety, there is some versatility there. You do want your guy to be able to, of course, line up in different spots of the field. But just his, like they're saying, that sort of physical presence that he provides at safety would have been interesting there. We've been waiting for 2 days for the Vikings to address their safety need, and they finally did it. And yeah, Fiesta Bowl MVP is a attacking defender who excels on special teams. Hey, so much has been said about Minnesota needing to find long-term replacement for Harrison Smith, though players selected 98th shouldn't really have those expectations. Hey, Thomas will factor into the team's plans, figure out safety position will look like in 2017 and beyond. Matt Miller, apparently not a fan of Jacoby Thomas. I say a starter, chat. I say a starter. And I say if you're drafting in the 3rd round, you should still be drafting. I mean, not putting, certain expectations on everybody. But I'm just saying in theory, like, first 3 rounds, you can still get really, really good players. And then start taking, maybe different types of swings after that. But, yeah, it sounds like, they got good value where they drafted Holsey at. So we just need to do the YouTube deep dive and see what's going on there. But the Bob Sanders comparison, and I mean, Bob Sanders was very versatile as well, too, flying around the field. But he was also at his best attacking down the field and, playing in the front 7. And, with the Colts taking a hard-hitting box safety and their current strong safeties are Cam Bynum and 7th-round pick Hunter Williams. And Cam Bynum is a good free safety, but if he's that similar profile to Jacoby Thomas, again, I'm just more familiar with Miami as well from their run this past year. So it is that. So I guess we will have to take, keep an eye on the safety class. Hey, it is what it is. I guess we could just go, pause position by position. But, of course, we did mention a little bit the Rams and the Ty Simpson situation. Carson Beck to Miami. I mean, Carson Beck, we're not necessarily like giving him rookie of the year hype, and I'm not sitting here saying that Carson Beck's going to be a sleeper rookie of the year, but he is probably the 2nd most likely to start on this list. Like, he could realistically win the job. And there is something to taking a starting quarterback in the 3rd round. Like, we turn into Collinsworth over here. Here's a guy, but I don't know if he's in necessarily the same tier as like a Desmond Ridder, Malik Willis type of guy. Like, I think he is a little bit of a step forward above that, whatever that may be. Again, Ritter's out of the league. Malik Willis is playing, so there is something there. He just signed a contract. He'll be helping the Dolphins tank this season, so you got to give him his credit as a player. But again, to be able to solidify your to be able to just get some potential starting production, I guess, is just good value as well. Like Carson Beck at some point, I think just becomes good value. He's kind of in a weird middle tier, at least in my mind. Pause. Where again, I don't know if he's a backup, but I don't know if he is like a high end starter as well too. I don't know about a team, again, drafting like with all due respect, like a low end starter as well, because some guys, you think low end starter is like a project player that doesn't necessarily work out. I guess if we can say that respectfully. If I could just use, for example, right now, let's just say a guy like Jackson Dart. Again, if Jackson Dart becomes a low-end starter, it's not because Jackson Dart is playing really well. It's just his abilities are sort of in a certain realm that, lead him to sort of a certain level of production. Or, not even low-end starter, per se, but think about like Jimmy Garoppolo or something like that, like the best version, like Jimmy Garoppolo, the best version of like a mid quarterback in a good system, ripping quick passes, yards after the catch, making quick decisions. Like there is a little bit of a, Jimmy Garoppolo vibe to a guy like Carson Beck. I guess Jimmy Garoppolo was second round, so Carson Beck, first pick of the third round. But like Drew Aller, like, I think the difference between Drew Aller and Carson Beck, like, I think it is real. Like, Carson Beck was, again, in 2 national championship games. And Drew Aller, with all due respect, the entire time we waited it for him to, there is something to, like, hey, when's this guy going to, get to these levels of expectations that just, maybe haven't been there. Hey, not say that they haven't been there, but, you get to the school as well, too. I mean, I think you guys get what I'm trying to say. Like, again, there's just a certain level that Aller was statistically maybe not quite playing at Penn State. And, I don't know necessarily what the expectations were there with that sort of determined production kind of already set that we saw from his game. But, the younger guys as well, too, expect him to kind of be getting better every year in a certain way. I guess Klubnik for the Jets does have a chance to start as well, too, if we're just thinking in theory, because, otherwise they've got Brady Cook as well, too. And we were hyping up Mendoza for sure. Like, Mendoza's very good. I wouldn't necessarily bet anybody to be Rookie of the Year, but for the, Jimmy Kimmel chat, we're back again with Jimmy Kimmel and controversies. Hey, I guess, can we just bet the no right now? It is what it is. Did we just jinx it, chat? Hey, I didn't mean to jinx it. But for, what are we saying? We're just trying to find some NFL Rookie of the Year odds. It is what it is. If we were just like taking out insurance for a Mendoza injury, I guess Jeremiah Love's going to be the other easy pick as well too. And when we get to the receivers, like, hey, obviously the receiver list is going to be, pretty stacked up in its own right. But there is just some interesting potential there. Again, in terms of how crazy the odds could be, the path is there for some of those guys to be starters. We have odds here on Polymarket. Will David Njoku play in 26-27? Who will attend Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's wedding? Hey, Mahomes, 92%. Jack Antonoff, 86%. Those are the only 2 guys? Is this official, chat? Hey, I feel like such a nerd looking this up. It is what it is. Okay, it's not, honestly, the fact that it's not in the immediate search results tells me it's not happening. I just looked up Travis Kelce. I looked up Travis Kelce twice. Ayo, I didn't mean to be a misogynist, Tad. I'm trying to look up Taylor Swift here. Okay, Taylor Swift. I guess Travis Kelce. Okay, that is the first result. But, okay, wedding is down there in the bottom of the list, I guess. So is there something that happened? Oh, chat, ayo, did they break up is the first article that happens. The Taylor Swift reportedly changed wedding plans again? Taylor Swift, again, was there a first set of wedding plans? Hey, Nikki Glaser jokes Taylor Swift made smart move, excluding her from blank. I guess it just goes ... Nikki Glaser anticipates private summer wedding for... Oh, did Nikki Glaser make a joke? Hey, Nikki Glaser, chat. I mean, obviously, shout out Nikki Glaser, call in and, anytime. But, for where she's at in her comedy career, I guess, a powerful voice. Taylor Swift, I guess this is from 8 hours ago. Despite rumors, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce will not host a June 13th wedding at Rhode Island Ocean House. Hey, yo, what is happening, chat? What is happening? I feel like such an idiot. IT, cut all this out. Cut all this out. Taylor Swift grabs dinner with dad amid NYC wedding speculation. But I mean, if Travis is getting, if Mr. Kelce is going to get married, like, that's pretty cool. Obviously, we got to see how far he's going to take this, chat. There's no way he gets another ring, is there? Hey, yo. But now we're seeing something else. I guess $325 sundress, chat. Hey, yo, it's too expensive. Rip it off. Cut it. Okay, what are we saying? We're back to Rookie of the Year. Hey, yo, chat. Hey, yo, it is what it is. Will the NFL have a new CBA? What are we trying to find? Rookie of the Year, AFC West champions. AFC West champions, the Chiefs are favored. Who is to say there? But I guess we don't necessarily have... speaking of engaged, chat, will Stephon Diggs and Cardi B be engaged in 2026? 11% chance. Hey, yo, and this is new as well, too. Okay, Alex Earl, just heavy TMZ corner right now, chat. Rem and Sam TMZ. Alex Earl and Tom Brady confirmed relationship by June what? June 30th? That feels crazy. Hey, yo, if they don't confirm their relationship by June 30th, then we know what's happening, chat. We know what's happening. It is what it is. I mean, then there's no relationship to be confirmed, if you get what I'm saying. But I guess, they're either way. I guess, But either way, for Tom Brady, I guess we'll have to see what he's into for the news cycle there for the next upcoming season. But Mike Vrabel out as Patriots head coach, 32% chance by December 31st, 2026. Imagine, chat. Diana Rossini taking him down in more ways than one. Hey, yo. Oh, no, chat. We're spiraling. We're spiraling out of control. What's happened? Polymarket's bringing the worst out of us. I don't like this. We just tried to log in and get Rookie of the Year odds is all. Just a simple little quest gone totally wrong. But let's see. Now if we'll stick to the good old FanDuel. None of these old crypto markets over here. Just good old-fashioned sports betting money. It is what it is. So see what I mean, chat? There's, how many... There's one person on this live stream, and he's pulling up the FanDuel. How many guys... There's 20 guys on the NBA courts on our TVs right now. There's no way none of them pulled up the FanDuel before this. It is what it is. Again, we're just playing the odds. But rookies, Fernando Mendoza, awards. Let's see what we got here post-draft. NFL MVP, Josh Allen's favored. I guess hot take, Lamar, Drake May, Burrow, Herbert, and Mahomes. Prescott, Stafford, Love. Caleb Williams at 16-1, chat. Not bad. Trevor Lawrence. Jaden Daniels at 20-1. Is getting interesting. Hurts at 35-1. Jackson Dart, 70-1 to win league MVP. New York Giants renaissance this year? Who's to say? But Rookie of the Year. Oh, Jeremiah Love is favored over Mendoza? Oh, well, now I'm back in on Mendoza. Mendoza at 4-1. I don't know if there's going to be a couple weeks at the beginning where maybe he struggles to, get the rhythm. And, is Mendoza going to step onto the field right away and throw for 350 yards? I'm not saying that he's not going to. I'm just saying if that were to happen, that could drop the odds below 4-1 if we just want to think about when do we want to bet this, potentially? Is it better to bet this now? Because there is the potential of the offseason hype as well, too. You're going to get the offseason hype with Mendoza. It's going to be real. I just can't imagine hearing the reports that, Mendoza struggling at Mendoza threw 17 picks in a row at training camp, and he's not getting along with the team, and it's just not working out. There's going to be good vibes. If anything, you're going to hear, it would be the things that I guess, you don't hear about. But you would, if anything, we're going to hear the positives. He's going to be soaking up the knowledge, pause. It'll be those types of things. If the throws aren't being there, if you start hearing negative things about Mendoza right away, then obviously it's like, hey, yo, what is happening there? But, point being, even if he, he has a little leeway, obviously. It's unfair to expect him, game one, first month of the season, first couple of weeks to go out there and immediately light the league on fire. But, compared to maybe the way a running back can, maybe a little easier sort of at least adjust systematically to what's going on. In theory, I don't know. Jadarian Price, though, fun at plus 850. Just, I guess, the closeness there with Jeremiah Love as well, too. Again, they're, like we were kind of saying on draft night, the value of those two picks, and, you're seeing it in the Rookie of the Year odds as well, too. But, just on either side of the first draft, or of the first round there. But for the other quarterbacks, I guess, again, just to be interesting, I guess Simpson at 60-1 is the next guy up. Am I missing a name? No, Simpson is the second quarterback. So is he going to play at some point in this season? What is going on there? And then it is Klubnik as well, too, at 80-1. Drew Aller at 80-1. So Carson Beck getting no respect, chat. Hey, yo. Where is Carson Beck our guy now? Where's our guy Carson Beck? Hey, yo. Does he even have Rookie of the Year odds? Is Jacoby Brissett just got the starting job locked down for this season for the Cardinals? Like, what's happening there? Do we have to go back and double check? I think it was Brissett. Oh, no, he's 30-1. Okay, they are seeing it the other way than we are. 30-1 for Beck. So he is actually second behind Simpson. Simpson at 60-1. So Mendoza plus 410, Carson Beck 30-1, Simpson 60-1, Cade Klubnik 80-1, Drew Aller 80-1. Does Talon Green have odds? Hey, yo. I guess I don't know who else is on the quarterback list besides that. Cole Payton plus 500. Hey, yo, plus 500. And then Talon Green, I guess, as well, too. So that is a swing, though. That is a swing. Like, Talon Green could play. Again, could he win Rookie of the Year is a totally different subject. But the path is there for him to play. But there is a little belief in Carson Beck, I guess, in some way. Right there with Omar Cooper Jr. and Denzel Boston and Sadiq and Stovers. And I think those guys will, be playing a little bit. I guess Denzel Boston also going to Cleveland as well. So him and Concepcion might be, taken away from each other a little bit. But again, he's right there in that next tier of guys that I guess isn't the obvious first bet. Carnell Tate at 7-1 as well too. Jordan Tyson plus 750 on the list. And then, like we said, Price plus 850 are the single digit guys. Anyways, but yeah, Cade Klubnik 80-1. Is that good value? That probably drops at some point in the offseason though. But again, Mendoza just not being the favorite is kind of interesting. Just because again, we kind of get that the quarterback is the hype. It's almost, we just saw Cooper Flagg win Rookie of the Year in the NBA. And that's almost the NBA version of that. Again, the NBA doesn't have quarterbacks per se, but you do have, stars and hyped up guys and things like that. And Cooper Flagg was more of a face. I guess you do have more like, what do you have, scorers and you have main playmaker type guys. But, Cooper Flagg was obviously that number one pick main scorer guy for the Mavs. And Con Knuppel was more of a secondary, super efficient creator for Charlotte, but also a really great offensive player as well too. Probably capable of close to as much, if not more, as Cooper Flagg right now, which is what makes the Rookie of the Year argument interesting. Is again, some of the ability versus just the pure numbers that was put up, but then arguing the efficiency versus the the box scores that Cooper Flagg was having. But, Mendoza is that Cooper Flagg situation where it's the highly touted quarterback, the expectations of that, and that can tend to be the winning thing versus, the running back or the receiver with the highly productive season. I guess I hate to do Rookie of the Year preview this early, but like we said, since it is since it is draft time. I'm trying to think here. You know, when the last time? I guess who won the awards last year? Hey, yo, remind me, chat. Remind me who we had going for these awards here. It is what it is. Let's get this pulled up and see what we've got going on. NFL awards. We need the Rookie of the Years, not the... We can do Rookie of the Months, I guess. Pause. As well, too. AP Offensive Rookie of the Year. Let's see. We got... Oh, that's right. McMillan. Ted McMillan. And then we got Daniel Stroud, Garrett Wilson, Jamar Chase, Herbert Murray, Saquon, Kamara, Dak, Gurley, Beckham, Lacey, Robert Griffin, Cam Newton, Sam Bradford, Percy Harvin, Matt Ryan, Adrian Peterson, Vince Young. So, I mean, honestly, the last decade has been... That's a pretty crazy run of having really productive players be Rookie of the Year. I know that sounds obvious, as like, shouldn't your Rookie of the Year be a really, really good player? But, I mean, maybe this is more common in the NBA as well, too, to have, like, you know, sometimes Michael Carter-Williams or something slip through and win Rookie of the Year. Malcolm Brogdon will win Rookie of the Year one year. It's like, okay, you know, he is like a really fine sixth man throughout the course of his career. But again, to go from, you know, Eddie Lacy is kind of the one that, like, started the career really great, and then it was like, whoa, wait, what happened with Eddie Lacy in 2013? But to go Odell Beckham, Todd Gurley, Dak Prescott, Alvin Kamara, Saquon Barkley, Kyler Murray, Justin Herbert, Jamar Chase, Garrett Wilson, CJ Stroud, Jaden Daniels, and Tet. Hey, yo. So, you know, honestly, Kyler is the one that's a little like, you know, is Kyler all the way the player that is, you know, that we're hyping up? But again, he's at least playing at this point. So we'll see. I guess 5 games played this last year, and then what will happen in Minnesota. This is the turning point for it, obviously, for what that career is going to look like. 3 Pro Bowls early on. So he might be at risk of breaking the sort of elite Rookie of the Year streak. Unfortunately, for the way the last couple of years have shaped out here. But again, for the name value, most part of it, it is crushing it. I mean, Sam Bradford, Percy Harvin, back-to-back years. Like, again, you're just 4 or 5 years later. And then Eddie Lacy a couple years after that. Like, I don't know, Cadillac Williams as well, too. Like, shout out, you know, good, obviously, you know, great talent, great ability to produce, but just unfortunately not quite able to sustain the career as well. You know, 14 games. I guess, yeah, injuries were involved. Like I'm saying, I don't know everybody's, you know, everybody's injury timeline with that type of stuff there. Ben Roethlisberger, Bolden, Portis, Anthony Thomas, running back in 01. You know, we were just looking back at that draft, a little bit of what happened there name. I mean, Leonard Russell, Carl Pickens, 91, 92 is a little interesting. Carl Pickens, any relation to George? I don't know. Ruben Mays, Troy Stafford, John Stevens, late 80s. You kind of got a... Okay, I guess the whole late 80s. Lou Lips? Hey, yo. Who is Louis Lips? I mean, that's crazy, Chad. That's a legit... I mean, his name was Hot, Chad? There's no way his name was Louis Hot Lips. Is this true? Did we just stumble across a guy named Louis Hot Lips? Hey, yo. I almost hate to Google this on the work computer. Our apologies to YouTube. Our apologies to anybody on the live stream right now. It is what it is. But we just have to look this up and see what's going on. Louis Hot Lips. 2 Ps. So I guess, yeah, Louis Lips, professional player. Played 9 seasons. I guess his Wikipedia page says nothing about hot. Okay, so, you know, but we got for... at least the Pro Football Reference, a reference to the nickname there. He is named Offensive Rookie of the Year at the season's end. Also named the Pro Bowl team as well, too. 2-time first-team All-Pro, 84 and 85. Steelers Hall of Honor, I guess. So, you know, Steelers legends. Perhaps we're not as, you know, in the know about Louis Lips as we need to be. Hey, yo, see, what does that even mean? What does that even mean? Lips' second season? Oh, Chad. I mean, I feel like you can't even say his last name. Just call him Lips? I mean, what does that mean? Yo, Hot Lips. I mean, you call him Hot Lips, chat? Hey, yo. Shout out Hot Lips. I don't know. You just call him like LP or something. HL. I don't know. There's something about Hot Lips though. We'll have to see. We'll have to Lewis Hot Lip, Mr. Hot Lips, call in. Is that we'll call you? So, Mr. Hot Lips, how was your day today? Has anybody ever started an interview like that? Make no mistake, if we ever get Lewis Hot Lips on the line, that's our first question. So, Mr. Hot Lips, how hot are the lips today? No, we can't say that. See, that's crazy. That's crazy. What does that even mean? What does that even mean? And you can't figure that out. There's only you don't know. You don't know. But again, we didn't assign that. We didn't assign the nickname, and I guess his nickname doesn't have to be in the middle of his nickname or of his name like that. It doesn't have to be, hey yo. But it could be. Could it be Hot Lewis Lips? I guess that could be his nickname. Lewis Lips Hot? Lewis Lips Hot Jr.? Lewis Lips Jr. Hot? I don't know. Let us know on REMINGTOM on Instagram. Is it Lewis Hot Lips or is it Hot Lewis Lips? I don't know. I don't know. Hot the mic for that one. I too knew what joke was coming next. Pause. We were about to say Hot Lewis Lips. I think that was that Chalamet's character in that one movie. I'm not sure, but for Hot Lewis Lips chat. Hey yo, that one might be better. I'm not sure. That one might be a little funnier. There's something a little odd about Hot Lewis Lips compared to Lewis Hot Lips is like too traditionally like cool. Like Lewis Hot Lips is just like an old school. It's like an old school guy's nickname. Like Lewis Hot Lips. Some guy in like a. It's like Lewis Hot Lips is like some guy that ran around with the Fonz in like Happy Days or something like that. I guess not to. We tread lightly, obviously, but again, but either way, for the nickname purposes, it sounds like it could be that type of nickname. Hot Lewis Lips is a whole different situation. Hey yo. So let us know what's going on there. And again, they don't even really have nicknames on the Football Reference page, so they just felt compelled to put Hot on here. I guess let's go. Tyrann Mathieu. We were just looking up iconic nicknames. Honey Badger. Do they have that listed? Okay, so they do list a nickname. They just don't have necessarily the, same sort of, same sort of collection of nicknames the way that the Basketball Reference page does. But this is crazy, chat. Hot Lewis Lips or Lewis Hot Lips? I mean, the only way we're going to find out is if he calls in and lets us know. The 84 draft in the NFL, obviously the NBA is the iconic one, but the 84 draft in the NFL, the 84 drafting year just gets more iconic, I guess, in general, with the addition of Hot Lewis Lips in the mix. Ayo, pause. It is what it is. Or like we said, Lewis Hot Lips. Can we even go to images, chat, and see his? Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here's Lewis Hot Lips right here, playing for the Steelers. Shout out. So, and it looks like also could have potentially been a trumpeter back in the day, a jazz. I guess that is the difference, chat. That is the difference. Hey yo, I can't believe we didn't think of that. Lewis Hot Lips is Lewis Hot Lips. Well, I guess which one's which, chat? It could be either, because Lewis Hot Lips could be the jazz player, and then Hot Lewis Lips is the football player. I think that is right. I think that's right. I think Hot Lewis Lips is the football player and Lewis Hot Lips is the jazz player. We figured it out, chat. We figured it out. We love to see it. I guess we'll go to the record store tomorrow because the record store is closed on Mondays. Just a little, just a little world building for our situation over here. But, if we could go to the record store tomorrow. We're going to ask him, chat. I'm going to ask him if he has any record by Lewis Hot Lips. Is that his name? Yeah. I guess it's Lewis Lips, but his nickname is Hot, right? His last name is not Hot Lips. Because Hot Lips does sound like it could be a last name as well, too, if you kind of say it together. But Lewis or Hot Louis Lips is, I guess, the other way, like we're saying. So we'll just see what's there. We'll see what's there. But either way, or I guess this model, Louisa Lips, chat. Oh, it could be. It could also be a model. Louise Lips could also be. It could that could be like a Bond girl, I guess, potentially. Louise Lips could be something. So we'll have to be what's the name of the not the Bond girl. I feel like she's a little more than a Bond girl when Bond marries her in the last couple of Bonds there, at least has a kid with her anyways. But for is it Leia Seydoux? Am I saying that name right? Like if Leia Seydoux was in a Bond movie in the 90s, that's definitely her name. Louise Lip. What is? Do we just look up names of? Hey yo, names of Bond girls. A different type of draft, chat. Hey yo, a different type of draft. But let's see what we got over here. Hey yo, obviously, chat. Thank Lord. Vesper Lind getting a little more modern. Honey Rider, Domino Derval. Hey yo, Kissy Suzuki, Tracy Bond. I guess, just kind of keeping it basic there. Tiffany Chase is a little almost too basic at this point. Honey Rider is pretty good as well, too. Hey, yo, pause. But, I guess not really, but Miss Tarot, Plenty O'Toole. Oh, Plenty O'Toole might be the winner, chat. I don't know. Plenty O'Toole. Oh, never mind. It's Holly Goodhead. It is what it is. Holly Goodhead it's not grotesque. It's just what's the word for it? It's not vile either. Graphic? I guess graphic is the word. Holly Goodhead is graphic. Either way, for a Bond name, Dr. Christmas Jones, is that Denise Richards' character? It is the classic Dr. Christmas Jones. Anya Amasova, Melina Havelock, Octopussy, Pam Bouvier, Wee Lin, Jinx Johnson, Camille Montez, and Madeline Swan. That's her name, and that's her character name. Her character name is, Madeline Swan, but Leia Seydoux is her actor name as well. But, yeah, we've got, I guess, and Madeline Swan is pretty good as well. Dr. Christmas Jones is elite for sure. But Plenty O'Toole is good. Who played Plenty O'Toole, chat? Hey, yo. Let's see. Plenty O'Toole was Lana Wood. She was I guess that... Hey, yo, chat. Speaking of crazy names, we could take that one to multiple industries as well. But Domino Derval? I guess we need like a cast. We need a casting list as well. I guess here we go. Wikipedia page. Obviously, there's a Wikipedia. Obviously, chat. It is what it is. We're just paying respects. We're just paying respects. Honey Chili. Oh, that's Honey Rider. Her full name is Honey Chili Rider. Honey Chill Rider, I guess. Corporal Tatiana Romanov. Tiffany Chase, like we said. Who do we got? Jill St. John in the film. Live and Let Die. Solitaire. Simone Solitaire Latrell. Hey, yo. Solitaire. That's pretty crazy. We need to bring that character back, chat. Solitaire. Hey, yo. Dominita Domino. Vitali. Teresa DiVincenzo, chat. Hey, yo. That's just Dante DiVincenzo's relative. Just in the Bond villain movies. Just a DiVincenzo. Am I reading the name right? That's literally what it's. It's just an Italian. Hey, yo. I mean, everybody in here has got an incredibly sexual name, except for... What am I missing, chat? DiVincenzo? What does Vincenzo mean in Italian? Hey, yo. Am I crazy? Do I not know Italian? I mean, what are we going to learn about Dante DiVincenzo after looking up that name? But I guess Kissy Suzuki, Ruby Windsor, Mary Goodnight, Maria Freudenstein. What does that even mean? Freudenstein. And then just Solange in 1966 as well, too. Beyonce's sister is just in the Bond series, I guess, as well. I don't necessarily remember that. What is this? Octopussy and the Living Daylights, the 14th and final Bond book. So I guess is this in the film, or is this just in all of the books that are appeared in? Oh, I guess maybe the ones that are highlighted are the ones that are all been in the movies. So has Judy Havelock been in a movie? For Your Eyes Only in a book? Maybe not. Hey, yeah, okay. Post Fleming stories, I guess, as well too. Eon Production Films. Oh, here we go. We got the, I guess, whole fist. The whole list. The Sacrificial Lamb. Hey, yo, what is this, chat? This is a crazy graph. This has sexual partners, main sidekicks, femme fatales, and sacrificial lambs. No way. That is wild. Teresa DiVincenzo goes in as a main side chick and a sacrificial lamb. Oh, chat. This is brutal. Again, we didn't create this. We just stumbled upon this in Wikipedia. It is what it is. Somebody else entered this in there. So you have Madeline Swan, obviously, shout out, able to keep on living afterwards as well, too. Skyfall. M is a sacrificial lamb, chat. Ayo, I was like, what is M doing in here with the Bond girls list? I was like, oh, these are all his sexual partners. What scene was that in Skyfall? That's not even cool. I mean, obviously, I guess, two consenting adults, but there is a relationship there that it seems like that is not cool. It is what it is. And then, am I getting Severine? Am I saying the name right? Hey, yo. Unfortunately, not great. Not a great overall outcome in this film. It is what it is. And they have Moneypenny in this category as main sidekick. I guess sexual partners is this category over here. Hey, I was like, well, if you get the draft right, at least get it right. So Madeline Swan goes in for there, and I guess main sidekick. So that's good. That's good there. And then I guess for Spectre, I haven't seen that one in a while. I guess throw that one back on. Strawberry Fields. There's somebody in Quantum of Solace named Strawberry Fields. Ayo, because that's a newer one. And again, they have at least gone a little bit like Severine. I don't know. Madeline Swan. At least there's like a name that's like something real there. Like Strawberry Fields is like that Dr. Crispus Jones 90s type of name. I don't even remember where we got off on saying pause on. Oh, Louis Lips. Who was that? I forget whose character that was. One of these Bond girls' name is Louis Lips, I guess. Shout out. So maybe more 70s and 80s than the 90s. Would it have been pre or post Countess Teresa DiVincenzo? I guess is what we're saying. Or Holly Goodhead. Hey, yo. Oh, chat. 8.5 minutes left. We got to lock in. Orlando is looking like they are trying to take a 3-1 series lead here. Cade trying to tie the series up. The Orlando crowd going crazy. Okay, we're going to let Paolo drive. Oh, chat. Hey, yo, he just got the ball smacked out of bounds. It is what it is. Okay, I don't remember what that had to do with the NFL draft, but we did look at some odds there, I guess, for quarterbacks starting as well, too. So, year one predictions for rankings, yardage rankings. We've got, now I do kind of want to take Klubnik over Carson Beck just to be counterculture as well, too. Just to go against the odds. Hey, yo. But I could see it being like they had it, maybe Klubnik over Simpson and Aller. That would maybe be the take as well, too. Klubnik is the third guy in the class. And Taylor Green as well, too. The problem is, we do just like Shador on this pod. So hopefully, there's a way that both those guys are able to get shine in the NFL at some point and, have the opportunity to be starters with their own teams. Again, obviously we'll have to continue to see what the ceilings would be there, but hopefully that opportunity would arise because they're just both talented enough that should happen. But for now, we'll say Mendoza, Beck, Klubnik, Aller, and then Simpson fourth because, they just have Stafford as well. But it is crazy how just how openly the emotion has been there for the coach. Like, I cannot think of a coach that has been without basically directly saying, oh, I can't believe we made this pick. Off the top of my head, can't recall like a time where the coach was like, I can't believe that we just totally made this wrong pick. But I mean, this literally might be it. This might be the most expressive a coach has ever been. I'm trying to think. Can we just see here? Coach, if we type in Coach Mad over draft pick, it's literally going to bring up Sean McVay. It is what it is. Coach Mad over draft pick. Let's see, NFL. Boom. Sean McVay is the first one that pops up. So again, it's in the recent news. It's probably tuned to our algorithm. It is what it is. Mike Green makes terrible mistake and apologizes to the Brown. Oh, Chad, not Mike Greenberg. Hey, yo. Hopefully he's doing okay there. Apologizing to the Cleveland Browns. And, again, he's tried to say that, it is what it is. He's all good. They're all in lockstep. But, I mean, you can just read his demeanor. You can just read the way he's behaving. It is what it is. And I guess, we'll take another quick break here real quick, because I got to turn this fan off. The temperature's dropping, chat. It is what it is. Oh, I hate to complain. But we got to adjust the settings real quick. It is what it is. We'll be right back. All right, chat, we're back, and we haven't even been paying attention to OKC versus Phoenix, but Phoenix is in the lead right now. Hey, yo, Booker pulling the three. Oh, we shanked it. It's not good. But now Jalen Green pulling the three. There we go. He got it to go. That Booker three was so bad that I feel like the karma on that Jalen Green three just had to go in. It is what it is. But they are now up by 7 points, chat. Hey, yo. 48-55 here in the second quarter, down 3-0. Game 4 of the playoffs. Are they going to finally steal a game from OKC? Again, we were just talking about them in that historic sort of run with these great teams. So, you know, that does mean that they're probably in territory for, hey, all these great teams' runs got broken at some point for just losing a first-round single game. Like, you know, maybe that is bound to happen when you're up 3, you know, in a row in your third consecutive first-round series. But, you know, regardless, I guess some good momentum. Matt Ishbia still's like, this is why we got this team right here. So we could win one game in Phoenix and have the fans cheering. And then you go lose the next game in OKC in front of nobody, you know, not in front of your own fans. And obviously not in front of nobody. I'm not trying to disrespect the OKC fans. I'm just saying for the Phoenix fans' perspective, you know, not trying to, you know, they don't, their own fans don't have to see that. And they end, you know, technically for them, they end the season on a win. And then they go to OKC, they lose, bam, they're fine. They're fine. So I guess, you know, we'll keep an eye on it there. By the time I get to Phoenix, we'll leave a note. I guess, hey, yo, we'll be watching Heat tonight, Chad. I guess to try to, that's how we'll learn the song. I guess we could go listen to, like, you know, is it Billy Stewart that sings that song, or I guess Al Pacino, who sings that song, Chad? Hey, yo, Vincent Hanna. By the time I get to Phoenix. Hey, yo, I guess we could just look up the lyrics here. Hey, yo. I guess, sorry, McVeigh, real quick. By the time I get... Oh, Glenn Campbell? Hey, yo. I guess, can we look up the Billy Stewart version? Hey, yo, same lyrics, I guess. It is what it is, right? Am I crazy? It is what it is. I guess we'll just look up the Glenn Campbell version if that's the one that is going to give us the lyrics here on Google. We'll see what happens. Okay, here we go. By the time I make it to Albuquerque. Oh, I guess it's the first line of the song. Okay. By the time I get to Phoenix, she'll be rising. She'll find the note I left hanging on her door. I guess I don't know if Al Pacino, like, as Vincent Hanna sings it word for word, you know? He might just be improvising it because he's just talking about Phoenix, I think, in the sense. But look at that, Albuquerque and Oklahoma getting left off the list here. By the time I get to Albuquerque, it is what it is. Give me all you got! Okay, chat, hey, yo, I guess we just got to get back to the playoff guide. We could just keep doing lines. It is what it is, but either way, I guess both literally and figuratively, lines because we're reading lines from Heat, but also, chat, that might be the best double entendre we've ever dropped here. It is what it is. Lines because it's the script from Heat, but also lines because Pacino was, you know, just make no mistake, he was on cocaine for that movie. It is what it is. I mean, I think he said it himself, but. Either way, I guess Pistons down till tied it up, Chad. Hey, yo, we're just changing the subject. It is what it is. We got to get back to the NFL draft. Phoenix, do they have an NFL team? That's right, they have Carson Beck now. Carson Beck, by the time you get to Phoenix, Carson Beck. Hey, yo. I guess we got to go now. I guess we can't get into his personal life. I don't know about no notes or anything like that. But, you know, either way, he'll be in Phoenix. But like we said, Klubnik, sleeper for 1,500 yards this year. Cade Klubnik. Over under 1,500 yards. Oh, Cade just shanked a pretty interesting little step back three. He created some good separation off the push off there. But unfortunately kind of shanked it as well too. Ooh, they throw it to the corner for Orlando. But Cade now gets the foul as well too. So 4 minutes left. Hey, yo. But I guess those are the quarterbacks picks that stands out. I'm going to say Ethan, even though it starts with an A. Is this Ethan? Hey, yo, who named their kid A? Oh, I guess A. We're not going to call it his parents' chat. It's a great name. Shout out to Ethan. But Calicomatis has ideal measurables and stature for NFL quarterback. Started off very streaky while at Minnesota, but showed improvement. Obviously the Commanders, and the Patriots and the Chiefs all have their investments made in quarterbacks, but still, Baron Morton, interesting, throwing 71 touchdowns to just 28 interceptions. And we did mention the Nussmeier pick on the Saturday live stream as well, too. But, still just to point it out as an interesting pick. We do like it there. I guess third on the ESPN quarterback rankings. So just the value as well, too. Andy Dalton as the backup. At some point, a third-round pick. Or maybe another... do you get like I guess they signed Kenneth Walker. Can you get a linebacker for a backup quarterback? Can you get another safety for a backup quarterback at some point? It's just got to be the value of why did he fall? And again, I guess we have to figure out what happened there as well too. Does it say in the post-draft analysis? It doesn't. Chiefs use 7th pick on Garrett Nussmeier. Hey, yo. Because again, this was a guy that was supposed to be the second quarterback off the board. He was supposed to be the second quarterback off the board, to Arch Manning. So again, the draft did change a little bit compared to where it was going into the year. But still, falling to the 7th round seems crazy. I guess there's no immediate headline as to, hey, here's what's going on. And, maybe some injury. I guess maybe there was an injury thing that potentially happened. That actually was right. I thought I did see something about that now that I think about it. But regardless, again, talent there is crazy. So Kansas City definitely has the opportunity to be able to bet on that. 3.5 left. Hey, yo, Palo here is taking the ball across half court. And OKC has now cut it to 2 as well, too. Oh, Palo, just strong to the basket. Right over Karis LeVert. Karis LeVert's on the court with 3.5 left. We'll see if that keeps up here with the free throw. Hey, with the dead ball, is Karis LeVert still going to be in the game? Hey, yo. Palo definitely had the physical matchup there on that drive between those two guys. So... I don't know injuries. Is there somebody else that LeVert would be, that would be the switch out option there? But Palo trying to get the crowd quieted down. Hey, yo. He doesn't want the crowd cheering him on as he makes these free throws. Hey, yo. He just said, "Let me concentrate." Hey, the pressure of the moment. Palo, are we talking smack? Hey, yo, he can't take it. Palo, he's going to miss. Oh, Chad, he did. He missed. He missed. He told him to quiet down. They didn't really quiet down. And guess what? It didn't work out. It didn't work out. It kind of stumbled around there. It is what it is. And, I mean, the Orlando... Do we say it again, Chet? The Orlando Magic free throw drama continues. Hey, yo. We hate to immediately go there, but he missed them both. He missed them both. I knew it. I knew it. The minute we started going the free throw drama path, it's like, of course. That's what this franchise did. Cade the layup. He missed it, chat. He missed the floater. Oh, did Wendell Carter, did he lose it out of bounds? Is that a foul? Hey, yo. I mean, is this literally a chance now to miss 4 free throws in a row? I mean, I know we could go the other way. Say, is this a chance? They're not going to seal the game with 3 minutes left here. I guess how much time was left in the game when Nick Anderson had the situation? Hey, yo. Not to put a name to it. It is what it is. But let's see what we've got here. Can we go back and investigate? And that was game 1 of the series as well, too. So just because it's not the last game of the series, you can't say that it doesn't mean anything. He missed, unfortunately, 4 consecutive free throws, allowing Houston to force overtime win, leading by 3 with 8.5 seconds left. The missed shots triggered an infamous collapse, resulting in a 4-game sweep by the Houston Rockets. The Magic led 110-107 with 10.5 when Anderson was fouled. Missed both free throws, but the Magic retained possession. He was fouled again, missed 2 more, leading to Kenny Smith 3-pointer that tied the game. The loss broke the confidence of the young Magic team, which was swept by the Rockets, say 30 for 30 on X. Oh, hey, yo. I guess, or also in the documentary. Anderson, 70.4% shooter from free throw that season, struggled with the psychological aftermath for years, according to Anscape. Anderson later admitted to Scoop B Radio that he fought off demons for a long time regarding this moment. So, Paolo Banchero, I guess, is now, again, different situation. 3 minutes left in the fourth. Obviously, when it's directly the next play, and it back-to-back free throws as well, too, in a different type of way. Again, you get the offensive rebound, immediately have a chance to make up for it, immediately miss 2 more in a row. Hey, yo. You almost wish it was like the college scenario at that point where it was like the bonus, where it's like you get the 1-and-1. If you miss the first one, it just immediately goes into the next possession. And you're just like, well, I guess I didn't even get the opportunity to get the next one. Obviously that is on you. But still, you didn't have the opportunity to miss 2 in a row. Like, that is tough. Oh, Chad, and there we go. Shea now, he showed up. I guess Jalen Green now getting to the basket for the and one, so they'll have a chance to cut it back to 1. But you heard me right, cut it back to 1. That means Phoenix has the lead again, or what do we say? OKC has the lead. OKC has the lead. Phoenix is down. It is what it is. It was 65 to 144, and now it's going to be potentially 65 to or 66 to 65 here, if Jalen Green gets this free throw to go. Oh, missed free throws all over the place. Hey, yo, what happened to the fundamentals, Chad? What happened to the fundamentals? I guess we did just watch Dr. Drew. What happened to the fundamentals? What happened to the free throws? People can't, execute. Oh, Mitchell from the corner, though. Hey, yo. So now all of a sudden, a minute left in the second half, this game is spiraling out of control for Phoenix. And this is to go home as well, too. Phoenix, come on. Colin Gillespie, step back 3. Oh, Chad. Hey, yo. Colin Gillespie, I think he might be a keeper. He might be there for a couple years. I guess the contract's going to be the question. The contracts will be the thing to debate whether or not, or to see, I guess, feasibly what is possible with keeping him around there for long term, considering that they do also have a couple other star players on the roster already, locked down. But, regardless, in theory, he is one of the guys that you would want to have long-term on the team for, as it's a long-term on the team for a little bit, but in the modern NBA, that is, I think, one way to look at it anyways. But 3-point game for Pistons versus Magic here in the 3 minutes left, 4-point game as Carter hits the free throws. So Dennis Jenkins now becomes the closer, I guess, in the Karis LeVert spot here. Oh, Duren offensive foul? I thought maybe they were taking a timeout, but it looks like it's an offensive foul. Oh, chat, 3-1 is obviously not, the same elimination that Phoenix is literally facing here tonight. Literally could be their last game of the season. But regardless, still the same, puts you in those same sort of historical disadvantages that, you hate to face as a NBA team here. But, we do have, like we said, Jenkins on the court instead of LeVert, Harris, Thompson with Duren in the middle. And Cade locking up Suggs. Oh, man, if Suggs has hit that 3, that would have just been, I guess the Magic are meant to move on type of situation. It is what it is. But good physicality by Cade, not letting Suggs bump him off his spot. He forced Suggs backwards, forced him to lose the dribble, and then he just had to chuck that 3 at that basket at the last second. The problem is sometimes you get those thoughtless shots at the basket and they just go in because you're not even having to, overthink it. You're just like, well, I guess screw it. I have to put this up. 2 minutes left, chat. Hey, yo. They get like a little Dennis Jenkins floater situation there. I mean, not able to get a 3 to go as well. Unfortunately, you know, you might want a Cade bucket or two in this scenario, or at least attempt. Asar taking it up the court now as well. I almost just called him a man there for a second. So yeah, now Suggs on Cade. Here we go. This is the matchup. Oh, right by him, chat. Right by him. Perfect. He got the foul and everything. I mean, good challenge at the rim by the Magic defense. And Suggs, you know, trying to chase him down from behind. Getting competitive there. But, I mean, he pretty easily blew right by him. It is what it is. Cade, fourth quarters this series. 1. Is that points? Oh, chat, that's tough. 16, 7, 12, and then 1 fourth quarter points. How many can he make up here in the last minute and a half to put some respect on that? Hey, yo. In a potential, again, pseudo closeout game. And, oh, the missed free throws. The missed free throws have now bit the Pistons. Cade misses 1, and he needs 1 just to cut it to 1 score. Just to cut it to 1 score with the minute and a half to be able to get a chance here afterwards. Hey, yo. So the Orlando fans, we know they can distract their own teammates, their own team. They just distracted Paolo a second ago. But they've apparently now distracted Cade. I guess that's the cost. That's the cost of doing business. Pause being crazy. Like, it may distract your own team, but it will distract the other team as well. So, yes, he does get there. 2 points, 0 for 4, 0 for 3 in this fourth quarter. He's 2 for 4 from the free throw line as well, too. I mean, those 2 free throws, it'd be a 1-point game. It'd be a little different. Bane for 3. Oh, he banked it in. He banked it in, chat. I mean, that Suggs 3, like we said, was close enough. Oh, chat, are Jaren Jackson and Ja Morant are at the game? Hey, yo. I guess it'd be different if they were, you know, not at the game because they were playing in the playoffs and they were with Bane and it was the Memphis Grizzlies, chat. Hey, yo, the Memphis fans are like, what just happened? I can't imagine being a Memphis fan right now. Hey, yo, imagine. You've got LeBron over here talking smack about your city, and you've got Desmond, you've got your entire team courtside at a different team's game. Hey, yo. You've got Bane, Jaren Jackson, and Ja Morant. You're like, this is our team. What are they doing at a Magic's game? What are they doing at a Magic's game? And I guess Jaren Jackson, obviously, on the Jazz. Ja Morant, the only one still left. Hey, yo. It is what it is. But I guess they did really like each other, Chad. I guess they did really like each other. If you're Memphis, you're like, wait a second. What happened? What happened with this team? Why did they trade? It all started kind of with Desmond Bane as well, too. We didn't even realize it. But if they never trade Desmond Bane, do they just keep the whole core? Do they win 45 games themselves this year with that core? I guess where are they sitting at right now in the draft? Because, you know, they are going to get a pretty high up pick. Ah! And I guess there is those, you know, franchise rebuild potentials because of it. Number 6 in the lottery. So if they do, you know, jump up into the top 3 this year, and, you know, you got Brooklyn at 3 right now. If Memphis somehow gets Cam Boozer, I don't know why, for some reason that feels like a link that could happen. But could that be the makeup for the LeBron lottery all these years ago? Did Carlos Boozer play for the Grizzlies? I don't think he did, but there is something about an NBA there is something about Carlos Boozer and the Grizzlies that makes sense, and same with Cam Boozer and the Grizzlies as well. It's just a family, you know, it's a family team. I think that makes sense. The Venn diagram there, for some reason, just seems like it would work. Desmond Bane still dribbling around. It looks like the Magic are going to take this one, chat. Hey, yo, up 4, the scooping layup. Okay, not able to get it to go. Here we go. One last shot here. If Cade, he's going to take a rush 3. He's going to take a rush 3. I guess it's Cade. He can make that. It is technically a 2-for-1 opportunity. But what does a 2-for-1 opportunity get you when you still need 2 scores? You know, you need 3 scores, really, in that scenario. I guess you need 3 opportunities if you miss. But, you know, either way, you need to take a little bit of a better time, especially down 4. Or down 6, I guess it is 3-score game. Down 6. Hey, yo, chat, we're J.R. Smith over here. We don't know the score of the game. It is what it is. I guess it's why we're not playing instead of, it's why we're watching and not playing. That's why. Because if we knew the score of the game, though, we would be playing, right? That was the only degree of separation for us. Was just that little bit of basketball IQ that we didn't have. But either way, for Memphis, chat, like we're saying, they can reset the franchise in a decent way this year. A cuff at number 6, you get John Morant, take 2 with Darius a cuff and see what happens there. But for just seeing it at this team's game, it is a little weird. Like, I'm trying to think about teammates that have gotten traded and still end up at each other's games. Hey, yo. Like, that seems like it is a little bit of a short list. Obviously it gets to the point where guys do request trades. Did anybody on the Grizzlies request a trade? So maybe that sort of shows you, what's going on there. Is that just the new rule now? Don't trade your players unless they request them. I mean, always kind of the trade in the past, but I feel like where we're at now, like the teams are getting proactive in a sense. Like the teams are like, well, if we can get 4 picks for this, if we can get 7 picks for this guy, then why not do it? Like the Grizzlies clearly felt that there was a franchise reset value in the picks that they could have with Desmond Bane, with trading that. And then obviously, again, trading Jaren Jackson after that as well too, kind of the combination of the moves. And I'm sure they would have traded Morant if they would have had the pick situation for it. They just completely reset the whole franchise, I assume. Or maybe they just do want to rebuild around him. I don't know. The plot twist of plot twists. They still want to build around John Morant. It is what it is. So we've got, is that Thompson getting a turnover, chat? 27 seconds left. Hey, is he going to go to the free throw line here? That'd be 2 free throws to now actually make it 4. I actually think that might be Tobias Harris. And Isaiah Stewart as well with the good defense. And then Thompson collects the steal that results in the foul. So, yeah, 27 seconds left. Oh, we got a bloody elbow. Is that Bane? Bane with the bloody elbow. So they're going to have to sub him out real quick. Get him taken care of. Oh! Another missed free throw by Asar Thompson. So I guess it goes the other way, chat. Pause. It goes the other way this time. This time the Detroit Pistons are the free throw team that wish that they could make it up. I mean, again, the Magic have had their own detrimental moments. We're not saying it makes up for the detrimental moments and still doesn't necessarily, guarantee anything later on. But missed them both. He missed them both, chat. Hey, yo. So that's 3 of the last 4 free throws that they missed. I mean, again, the game would be nearly tied. I don't always necessarily do the direct math. We're like, well, this team missed 6 free throws, so that means if they, lost by 5 points, then if they made those 6 free throws, they win the game. The games can play out a little bit different than that, depending on what the score is at a given time. But for him to have that type of, final situation at the end of the game, it does make sense a little bit in the context of the, what's going on. And for the, for where they're at anyways right now, it would be, a little interesting setup. But I guess Bane with some good fourth quarter play here. Either way, hey, yo, I guess we're still looking at the NFL draft as well, too. We're getting locked into the last couple of minutes. The running back class we got to look at. I guess we did mention Price going to the Seahawks as a sleepy. That is, I guess, the sleeper rookie of the year pick. If he were to run for like 1,200 yards and 8 touchdowns in a really good offense, Charbonnet gets hurt. I guess Emmett Johnson for the Chiefs, if he's going to be backing up Kenneth Walker, I guess the Kenneth Walker single or the running back duo thing, if that's just, what he brings about to a team. Nick Singleton to Tennessee is interesting as well, too. I'm trying to think, they do have Tony Pollard there right now, and he is, of course, very, very productive. Way too early mock draft. Texas lands. Oh, Arch Manning lands in Cleveland. Buckeye Sayin goes number 1. Oh, Chad, does that mean Arch Manning's going number 2? Hey, yo. Sayin number 1. Ohio State's got the top 2 picks. It is what it is, Chad. Dante Moore, number 3. Arch Manning, number 4. Leonard Moore, number 5. Cam Coleman, number 6. Colin Simmons from Texas. There we go. And then Sorsby. Hey, yo, chat. Sorsby, still the 8th overall pick. The league does not care about the gambling problems, according to this mock draft. Rehab saved him. Rehab saved him. The way too early 2027 mock draft says rehab was good for him. And it worked out completely, and he'll never gamble again. But Tennessee, the roster, I guess the running backs. Hey, yo. Singleton does have a little bit of a path to get some playing time. Oh, Spears as well, too. Oh, and our guy Mullings, shout out, had a very, very productive, career his entire way around. But Singleton, Michael Carter, Julius Chestnut, Blake Watson, Tajay Spears, Tony Pollard, Mullins. I guess the 5 of Pollard, Mullins, Spears, Michael Carter, and Singleton. Is that the best 5-man running back core in the league? I don't know. Imagine. It would be nice to have the best man something, if you were the Titans. But for the running back, situation anyways, that would be a step forward. You get Randall going to the Ravens in the 5th round. And apparently the owner just really, really, really wanted to make a pick. So the GM was like, well, I guess you own the team. If you want to make a pick, you might as well be able to make a pick. It's your team. And apparently the guy he chose was Adam Randall. So I don't know if the Ravens owner went to Clemson. For his alumni. If there's a reason he wanted to get a Clemson guy on the roster. But Randall made the permanent switch from wide receiver to the backfield in 25. He's a long strider with upright running style, moving downhill with aggression. He keeps a low center of gravity, can be hard to bring down at the point of contact. Of course, Randall's experience as receiver makes him very, very good pass catcher out of the backfield. Though he is still developing his skills as a running back, he possesses upside with his physical tools. So, I don't know, Dexter McCluster 2.0? Imagine the Ravens owner was just like, I know. Hey, yo. That'd be, again, had the NFL career, that would, make you think that the 2.0 version of that would be crazy. But again, fun idea. And Katron Allen as well, too, to Washington. Speaking of good backfields, that Penn State backfield was obviously pretty crazy. So they do have Krosky Merritt there already. Jerome Ford, McNichols. Hey, yo, Jeremy McNichols, Jerome Ford, Rashad White, and Krosky Merritt is not bad. And then now Katron Allen. Like, they're kind of cooking, chat. They are kind of cooking, honestly. So this is another one. Again, we're seeing it now. Teams building around running backs. Hey, yo, 11.5 seconds left. Magic up by 8 points. 86-94. So this is looking like a 3-1 series going back to Detroit. I guess speaking of 3-1, Minnesota, Denver up next as well too. But not quite the same legacy stuff on the lines, respectfully for the players here. But at least the jobs, the instant jobs, Mosley keeping his jobs, the Magic people get to keep their apartments in Orlando. Hey, yo, imagine Franz Wagner gets to keep his Orlando lease going for the next 12 months. He almost ended that thing in the offseason. He was almost going to be like, well, I just don't know if I'm going to be here for the trade deadline. Hey, yo, the teams are talking. And now the Pistons are going to have to go in the offseason and think about, all of their crazy reevaluations as well, too. But, again, there is something just to the linear regular season progression that they've had. Now, the problem is next season is about playoff progression. They've potentially lost in the first round now 2 years in a row. So they've progressed in the regular season. Next year, even if they take a quote-unquote step back in the regular season, a progression forward in the playoffs is ultimately going to be the most important thing that we need to see from the team to be able to close it out there. But, 3-1, I guess you can't count out Detroit quite yet. It is what it is. But the matchup seems to just be a little too overwhelming at this point. And Cade honestly seems to be just a little bit too left on his own as well, too. with some of these guys to be able to, get this series, to be able to have the comeback win. It is what it is. But, yeah, for the running back class, anyways, like we said, Katron Allen to Washington is a fun pick. At least a good offense there if he's able to sub in and get minutes. Desmond Claiborne to the Vikings. Eli Heidenrich to the Steelers. And then Seth McGowan from Kentucky to the Colts as well. Okay, let's see what it says here. In take two, it says McGowan's frame is NFL ready, and he has some explosive abilities. He possesses a slashing running style, displaying great twitch when he splits defenders through small lanes. McGowan runs tough, managing to keep his pad level low and legs churning through contact. In the pass game, he shows a willingness to take on blitzers as a blocker. However, his technique needs to improve at the next level. But hey, if he's willing, I mean, that's better to be able to improve a running back's blocking abilities, right? And he's not a huge receiver, but averaged 12 yards per reception at New Mexico State in 2024. So I would say that is there as well too. But 6 foot, 223 seems like a menace. Hey, Seth McGowan. He might have been cooking. This might be one of the Colts' better start to finish drafts, honestly. Pause. That Ballard's had. We're kind of looking at the position by position part of it, but the quarterback seems kind of like the running back, seems kind of like a decent pick. And, again, Taylor and stuff still there, obviously still, the main engine of the team, but you're going to need that committee style to keep it fresh now as well, too. So we'll take one more quick break, chat, and then we'll be right back to continue to go through the draft and be back for the, I guess, start of the playoffs as well too. The start of the Denver-Minnesota game, we should say. Get to see the first couple of minutes, see how the vibe for that one starts. But yeah, we'll be right back to continue to go through the NFL draft right after this. Okay, chat, we are back, and they're just jumping right into Denver versus Minnesota, I guess, as well, too. That has been going on while, we had the other two games on. That last game was wrapping up there. But Denver jumps out with the 10-point lead, and, again, the series does look totally different now as well, too. The perception of Denver has changed with them being down 3-1 in this matchup. But regardless, unfortunately, the Timberwolves, lost their major players with Edwards getting injured in the last game and DiVincenzo, major player as well too, getting out for, most of the next 12 months. So for, Edwards, I was thinking it was saying maybe multiple weeks potentially. So again, it's definitely out for this series as well, which is the important, I guess, immediate competitiveness. If we were to phrase it that way, obviously the most important thing is the guy's health. But for the immediate competitiveness of it, this series is probably out of the question there for him. But for Jokic, it does now make it seem like the ability for them to rip off a couple wins in a row here becomes way more likely. It is difficult for any NBA team to, get a win against any NBA team just 3 times in a row in general. But regardless, it is more feasible when you're down 2 of your best 5 players for your opponent. And it is, looking favorable for Denver to start. Again, they are at home here as well, too. But if you have Terrence Shannon in the Anthony Edwards role, and we really love Terrence Shannon. Like, this is a pro Terrence Shannon pod. But if you have Terrence Shannon in the Anthony Edwards role, then it just becomes a different level of competitiveness for Minnesota there. So, again, I think that we'll have to see how it plays out, because in some ways it just becomes almost easier to evaluate at this point if Jokic loses, because he already has historically lost the series at this point. If he wins, then it's like, well, what happened in those Edwards minutes, how vital was Gobert to all that stuff? Obviously vital, but hey, turns out they needed their best players as well too. Cam Johnson drains a 3 off the dribble. So there's some, aesthetic things that could happen here with Denver, where it's like, oh, is Denver looking like that team of old? But, or, the team that we kind of thought that they could be as well too. But, again, as a Spurs fan, I mean, they're not necessarily lighting up the world against the Blazers. So maybe we should be a little bit worried there. But I'm more worried about just the way that the Spurs are playing than the way that Denver is playing, if that makes sense. Because, again, Jokic has definitely been putting up his overall box score numbers for the most part, but hasn't, again, had the efficiency that he's normally so iconic for having there. And it just seems like the ability to maybe get mentally underneath them, the way the pause, maybe mentally mess with them a little bit is there as well too, that I don't know if it's necessarily been in the same way that it has in the past. It just seems like they are obviously after this series susceptible as well. And I would say that the Spurs are better than Minnesota, so I'd expect us, even if the matchup is a little bit different, to have some success there if that's what we were looking at for the next round. But either way, I guess for the receiver class NFL draft, we keep going through that. Again, just a insane stacked receiver class. I mean, these are all the first 3 rounds of the class. 4 rounds, 5 rounds, 6 rounds, 7 rounds. Hey, yo, how many receivers were taken in this draft? Oh, man. Of course, Chad. I mean, Mike unplugged, get everything shut down in the background. Just a couple of classic Rim Sam technical difficulties. It is what it is. Got to play the hits sometimes. Got to play the hits. Okay, here we are. We are back. Carnell Tate leading the way, and then Tyson as well goes number 8 to Arizona State. Obviously, Mekhi Lemon is a fun personality in Philly, but if they don't trade A.J. Brown, and they really have stacked up on the weapons as well this year, so they just need to trade A.J. Brown so they can give some of these guys some opportunity. Hey, yo, now they forced their hand. They have to trade A.J. Brown. But we said for Cleveland, them using their back-to-back picks on receivers with them, we should say they're 2 picks, not their back-to-back picks, but they're 2 picks in a row there with Casey Concepcion and Denzel Boston really works for us. I guess Amari Cooper Jr. would have been their other receiver taken in between. So, pause. Could you have gone Omar Cooper Jr. in case he could, or Omar Cooper Jr. and then Denzel Boston? That would have been crazy. But I think Concepcion is a little bit more gadgety than Omar Cooper Jr. Like, they have a Rashee Rice comp here, so kind of a more physical type of receiver. He can explode with good initial burst and acceleration off the line of scrimmage. Mostly threatens with his vertical presence in zone coverage. Does a good job of finding soft spots in defense. In man coverage, he plays off the leverage of defenders to create separation, though he's not always efficient in getting out of his breaks. So, something you could probably coach up a little bit there, but, for the raw talent of it all, pause. Like, there is just so many guys on this list here. But, Jeremy Bernard from Alabama led the Clemson Tide in receptions each of the last 2 years. I think we might have mentioned the Deebo Samuel comp when it happened because, we just get jealous of other teams. If a guy that if the guy that the Colts don't take is not comp to Deebo Samuel and somebody else takes him, we're going to be jealous of him. It is what it is. And they got the pick from Indy in a trade as well, too. So there is that to be extra jealous about. But this is definitely, people were talking about it up there as one of the, more stacked, do you say, or wide receiver classes, at least with the most depth anyways. Just looking at these names, there is hopefully a great amount of starters here. Could everybody get a starting receiver in this draft? It might honestly be close. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I got Coleman there. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Oh, Chad, this is going to be fun. 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Okay, we're getting closer. 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. Chad, we got 36 receivers in all drafted this year. By my math, every team in the league can have a brand new receiver for year one. Like, that's where we're at with this stuff. I think it is, getting pretty close there. But, for the most part, like we said, definitely a lot of fun to see what is going to happen there. The tight ends with Sadiq being the main guy. And then Stowers from Vanderbilt, number 2. A converted quarterback combines a tight end broad jump and vertical jump. His 2 years at Vanderbilt, the Commodores found multiple ways to get him the ball. So this is like a Taysom Hill type of player almost as well, too. Eagles tight end situation is one that it must be monitored, with Dallas Goedert ending nearing the end of a very good run with the team. Oh, okay, to be a little more specific there. I was like, just writing him off as nearing the end. In Stowers, Philly adds a tight end who broke the vertical record and broad jump record at the combine. While speaking 40-yard dash, Stowers dominates on team routes and will give Philadelphia a spark in their yards after catch department. And got the Harold Fanning comp, who was, I think up near the top tight end in the draft class last year, if not the second receiver overall in pass yards. And the tight end class is almost as stacked as the receiver class as well, too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Are we going to get to 30, 21? Oh, 22. 22 receivers. But a couple extra 22 tight ends. And there were a couple extra receivers we counted, so maybe we could make some conversions and make that work. And we should mention OKC up by 12 now, 6 minutes left in the third, completely turning the tides of the game. It is what it is. They're going to dominate. They're going to win that series. They're going to keep being historic. Nothing's going to stop them. Unfortunately, nothing's going to stop them. It is what it is. Fullbacks, class, as I say, over under 1.5 fullbacks. Not even close. Not even close. 0 fullbacks taken in the 2025 draft. Or 2026, we should say. Is that a first? Imagine. First time in NFL history, no fullbacks taken. I would say fullbacks do feel more like a, obviously underutilized part of the game, but an undrafted part of the game, like, when was Juszczyk drafted? Like, when were people taking these fullbacks? If you have pause when if you have a guy like that in the drafts, do you have to take him in the second or the third round, or is he undrafted free agent side? Fourth, 130th overall for Kyle Juszczyk, fullback. So 6'2", 235. Do you draft him as a tight end and then convert him over? We need who are the other fullbacks in the league besides Juszczyk? Chat Ricard, is that guy's name? If I'm getting it right here, Patrick Ricard. Yeah, I think we got one. 10 Pro Bowls for Juszczyk. Ayo, 6 Pro Bowls for Ricard. 1-time All-Pro. He has, had a crazy run here as well too. In his situation, he has had a highest number of, I guess wherever it may have gone, chat, wherever it may have gone. But regardless, Juszczyk definitely the leader in the clubhouse in that category there. But yeah, no fullbacks, unfortunately, for the 25-26 draft. Tackles? Oh, chat, we love our offensive tackles over here at the pod. Spencer Fanow, Francis Moya, Caden Proctor. Blake Miller was one of the people that people were saying, respect to Blake Miller and the family. But people were calling it a reach. They said Blake Miller's not good enough. Hey, yo. People were doubting, chat. People were talking. What were they saying about Blake Miller? Did you hear the people that were doubting Blake Miller? Hey, yo. But apparently he'll be out for a vengeance, and Blake Miller too. I guess John Wick's got a perfect name to be a movie title and a name as well. That's great. Again, you couldn't, with no disrespect to Blake Miller, you couldn't be Blake Miller 1. I guess you could be if it was a great movie. You definitely could be. But Caden Proctor 1, Spencer Fanow 3, it's just a different vibe to it than John Wick 3. Hey, yo. Austin Barber 4 is just a different situation. Monroe Freeling 3 at first round, I guess, is still pretty reasonable. Obviously, a lot of tackle talent in this class as well, too. The guards, maybe, no, pretty similar. I was going to say maybe a little shallower, but pretty similar. Another Kentucky player. The Colts draft a Kentucky running back and a Kentucky offensive lineman. So I guess it makes sense. Like a drafting a quarterback and their receiver in some ways. They go hand in hand with each other. Farmer started every game at right guard for Kentucky over the past 2 seasons after transferring from Florida. He has a good frame displaying core strength while holds it all at the point of attack, but he can stop moving his feet on contact. Hey, yo, Chad. It is what it is. We don't need to take in the negative information about our guy. Seems like he is a great pick anyways. But, yeah, for the Colts, they did seem like their draft class was, for the most part, a pretty successful situation there. So, yeah, we could, go back through the teams again as well too. But we do have, I guess, to quickly just go back through this box score here and see what's going on. Since we are, hitting the runway here, we can see where we're at. Third quarter, 86-99. Chad, it's not even going to look like it was close at one point. It's not. People aren't even going to remember when Phoenix had a chance. We're not even going to be. We're going to have to tell them. Tell them Phoenix had a chance in the first quarter. Hey, yo, remind them. Shea, 24. Chet with 22, 8 for 12. And they have Jalen Williams, I guess, in the week-to-week situation. So, now all of a sudden, it's honestly a good thing. It's a good thing that IT unplugged the mic that time, because we were about to say something that would have jinxed the Spurs, and it just needed to be let go. It just needed to not be said. So, we need to prioritize sometimes the Spurs title run over all things. So, we'll just let that thing go unsaid. But, again, even the Thunder have their injuries. Even the Thunder have their injuries with, Jalen Williams going week to week. So, they're going to need, Chet scoring, of course. You see it immediately stepping up. Hartenstein with 13. Hey, yo. we haven't really heard much from Hartenstein as of late. Kind of been, not as present as you need. Well, with in and out as well too this year. But either way, Booker, 11 points, 4 for 8. A Jalen Green performance tonight, 1 for 7 from 3. Hey, yo. It is what it is. Colin Gillespie, 7 for 10, 6 for 9 from 3. So, but minus 27, so, it happens. It happens. Grayson Allen playing tonight, plus 13, 12 points, 4 for 4 from the field, plus 17. So Grayson Allen's the secret to the series. Plus 17 when he's in the game is crazy. He's in the corner right now. He's literally just got his hands up. He's just waiting for the basketball. And he inspires Booker. I think maybe Booker doesn't want to pass it to him so bad that he starts making his buckets is really what it is. So there's these other kind of subconscious motivational factors that Grayson Allen has that raises other people's game when he is out there. So you do have to give him credit for that. But again, Phoenix is fighting for their life here. Hey, yo. By the time I get to Phoenix, they could, I'll leave a note saying I'm out of the playoffs and gone home, swept in foe. Hey, yo. So I don't know what Pacino's exact lyrics would be. Can we get the ChatGPT to cook us up? What would Al Pacino be singing about for the Phoenix Suns in that scene? Hey, yo. By the time I get to Phoenix, I'll drop a C note on a ticket. Hey, yo. Probably, a couple, chat. Hey, yo. Some court sides. Ishbia setting the prices. Hey, yo. It is what it is. But I guess Detroit versus Orlando here. Real quick. Cade, 25 points, but I guess unfortunately, like we said, Detroit falls. They are now down 3-1 in the series. Paolo with 18, Desmond Bane 22, Frowns with 19, and Wenzel Carter with 12. Jamal came with 8, 6, another 5. So just incredible balance. Again, somehow Mosley is completely saved his job, resurrected his team. This team feels cohesive in a way that it didn't before, where it felt miserable playing together. I don't know what the whole situation is. And you love to see it if you're a Magic fan that it is just in time for the playoffs. But I just, for the ability for them to be able to gel like this late in the season is pretty incredible. And maybe it will at some point, sustain itself versus, something that is definitely not something that should. But I guess they win this game. Suggs 1 for 13 from the field, 1 for 11 from 3-point line. He hit 1 3 in the fourth quarter. That did kind of push the Magic in front. So that could Suggs have maybe bet some performance unders, but also parlayed that with the Magic over? That would have been ballsy. But they also have not necessarily hit their under or hit their over-under in the last couple of games, if that makes sense. Plus 3.5 in the last game. It was a total of 114.05 for both teams for this game. So, again, for Orlando, they're not necessarily working with a ton after this. But I think for having it being, creative all the way through, obviously, is the goal there. But Denver up 3 now in the fourth quarter. So Minnesota, you do have to give them their credit for fighting back a little bit and keeping this close. Oh, there is a foul on a missed dunk. Is that Najee? Hey, yo. What are we doing over here, chat? What happened to the old finger roll? Hey, yo, Spencer Jones, I guess, picks up the second foul for Denver. So the non-Jokic minutes obviously continuing to be, incredibly important for this team here. But OKC now 102-94 as the third quarter ends. They somehow are the first one to 90 or 100 points. Shea with 24, so now he's got his 20. Said Caruso, 2014 as well too. Hey, yo, it is what it is. So I guess for any other major draft things that we may have had as well too, I guess we can say them now potentially. Maybe we actually go to that 2027, the way too early, chat. Hey, yo. The quest to get Arch Manning as the number 1 pick, or not get Arch Manning as the number 1 pick, but, for him to be the number 1 pick. He is right now with Dante Moore, Julian Sand. So we do have the three, and then what they had Swordsby up there as well too. Darian Mensah from Miami at number 13. So next year's quarterback class is just insane, I guess, by looking at it early on. You know, it's always crazy early in the year before everybody plays, and then it starts evening out. But Sellers is back in the class as well, and Swordsby. Look at that. Imagine if we had 7 first-round quarterbacks next year. Hey, yo, Arch Manning, Dante Moore, Julian Sand, CJ Carr, Darian Mensah, Lenora Sellers, and Brandon Swordsby. All going in the top 32 would be nuts. That would be nuts. And then Chambliss and Maayava in next year's class as well, too. So we have potentially 9 guys in the top 45. And then nobody else after that. Everybody just wants the quarterbacks next year. But I don't blame them. I don't blame them. Oh, I was almost like, who did the Colts take, chat? Hey, yo. Hey, yo. It is what it is. We took Sauce Gardner. We love the pick. Do an AI celebration right there for the trade because we love the pick. It is what it is. KJ Bolden, safety out of Georgia. We'll have to watch the tape to see how much we regret that pick, I guess, potentially when it happens. But already getting mad about it next year. Hey, yo, we have a whole 12 months to be upset that we don't have our pick again. Darian Mensah, though, who I guess is Miami's quarterback now as well, too, will be, in the spotlight there, is the guy that is the mock draft picked ahead of the Colts right now. So that would be, I guess, tough to see. And we said 7 quarterbacks. The option to at least have an option there is something. I guess who else? Maybe they went a little bit later in the mocks. It doesn't look like they are, going crazy up. It goes 1, 2, 3 for the first 3, and then after that, Carr at 10. Hey, yo. I guess next year the Drew Aller pick not working out, but I guess again 3rd round pick, you can move on from that if you have a year 1 replacement that is immediately gonna work better. So I guess the stacked quarterback class for next year, we'll have to keep an eye on that there. But I guess speaking of keeping an eye, chat, you're gonna have to keep an eye on the channel because we've been all over the place with the schedule as of late. It is what it is. We've been going live with the draft. We've been going live around that with the NBA playoffs as well, too. And we've been going live around trying to see this new Michael Jackson biopic. Hey, yo. We've been trying to get to the theater to go see it. Dosunmu with a step back. I guess not quite the same performance, but either way, we've been trying to go see this Michael biopic, and it just hasn't happened yet. So tomorrow, typically we're live Sunday, Tuesday, Friday, but because we've had some technical difficulties as well, some other things and having to move some stuff around, we may take advantage of this week's schedule. This week we're going to be, we're going to be Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So leading into the Friday a little bit different, and then we'll be hopefully back to normal, unforeseen circumstances, I guess, whatever they may be. But, hopefully we'll be back to normal with the Sunday, Tuesday, Friday schedule after that. But for this one, like I was saying, maybe a little, some slight tweaks there. If you have the means to be able to pull it off, pause. Like it is kind of cool. But for the most part, I don't know how much it is really worth. But I guess we do have Denver still with that 2-point lead right now as the second quarter is halfway. And hey, we got Shea with a little cut right now. It is what it is. We got to bring the MMA doctors out for the patching up the wound. Hey, yo. It is what it is. So I guess the only way to slow him down right now, you got to scratch Shea. Ooh, hey, pause. I don't know. 104-97. Was that Dylan Brooks? They just cut back to Dylan Brooks like he was at fault. I don't know if we need a replay or not to see what was going on there. But hey, yo, chat, do we have to mention the DIY candle we have in the background? Hey, yo. I've been debating it all night, but I guess we already looked up whether or not Taylor Swift was getting married, so we can talk about our DIY candle. It is what it is. Or do we just leave it at that? We'll just leave it at that. We won't even talk about it. I'll just mention that I have a DIY candle in the background, and I copped out about telling the story about how we made it. It is what it is. So imagine a DIY candle going back there. But either way, I guess that was our quick interlude that didn't work out. Back to the draft. Arch Manning, 26. Can't wait. 27. Can't wait. And they do have him number 1 to Miami right now. I guess Sayan over Moore is the debate. I mean, Sayan was pretty good this past year in terms of maybe elevating the system. Moore definitely ran the system. Sayan ran the system. Arch, I guess they all kind of ran the system, And that is where maybe the projection falls into place as well, too, is guys like we're saying that run the system versus elevate. That's the thing about like Caleb Williams when he was at college, for as much as that second year was, up and down in the hype process of it all, that second year at USC anyways. Like that first year at USC, he, helped that team, in a sense overachieve, and they still overachieved with him there in that second season. Again, he was helping power that team. He was doing more. He was the system for that team. They weren't just running the offense, and he wasn't just a part of running the offense there. Everybody's kind of doing that. Arch Manning is a little, he's borderlining on that. And again, Chambliss was that as well too at Ole Miss. Of all the quarterbacks in last year's class, I kind of think Chambliss is that guy. Hey, yo, 6 foot 200. Why not, Chad? Why not? I mean, he's 1 inch shorter than Sayan. Hey, yo. Like, and we're going to give the Ohio State guy, 40 picks more higher spot because of that. Hey, yo. I guess every inch matters, Chad. But still, it is what it is. Jaron Kia Sagapolitilli for next year's class. We just wanted to say the name is really what it is. Just try to say the name. And Sellers as well, too, is a little in that, kind of exceeds outside. But Sayan could get there as well. So I guess, like always, we'll need to keep an eye on him there. But I guess, did we miss anything from the NFL, chat? Did we miss anything from the NBA? I guess we'll have the entire, offseason here for the NFL to be able to make up for any storylines that we missed, make up for anything about the draft as well, too. The Rams and the Steelers, like we were talking about with their quarterbacks, we'll have a chance to continue to see how that evaluates as the training camps go. Pavia going to the Ravens, I guess, for backup potential. Kind of fun. Pavia and Lamar. Hey, yo. It is what it is. But for, the injury report here for Minnesota. I guess, do we get a quick Minnesota versus, what are we saying? Denver box score check? Hey, yo, a box check. Whoa. A box score check before we take off. 2 very different things. One, you can actually perform on a live stream, a box score check. A box check. I guess there are box checks on YouTube. It's just, the medical side of things. If it's medical, you can post it. Hey, yo, what does that even mean, chat? What does that even mean? We're just writing the rule books as things go. It is what it is. We're really tackling on the system. So, hey, yo, we've apparently lost now the scoring. The ESPN is all over the place at this point. It doesn't know how to keep up. Bane with 22. We already looked at that score. Okay, here we go. Randall with 12 tonight. Jokic with 8 and 7. And the assist number has been good. The rebounds, again, the box score has been good. It's just that efficiency that Jokic is killer with is not necessarily been there. But 3 for 7 tonight, at least 40% is something. And then 7 assists as well, too. 8, 5, and 7. 8, 5, and 8. I mean, how does he do it, chat? Pause. How does he do it? Can Randall do it in the post? Oh, no. He gets smacked. He throws the ball right to Cam Johnson. Cam Johnson gets immediately rejected on his pass attempt. Goes and throws it to Bruce Brown. This is going to be a, hey, Jokic, can you bail us out type of situation. What do the players do around Jokic, chat? Nothing. Hey, yo. He just makes the nice pass right there to the open guy that doubled because of the way he moved into the basket. And then, bam, the wide open 3 fires right away. So it is basically just, be ready. Be ready and you can play for Denver. It is what it is. And if you can out-rebound Gobert, oh, Jokic up ahead to Bruce Brown. Oh, he dunks it in. There we go, the 7-point lead. Maybe a little momentum shift to Denver. They can get a 3-2 lead here going back to Minnesota for Game 6. See how the series looks then. But, yeah, we'll maybe be able to take advantage of, you know, a little $5 movie Tuesday here in the Midwest, which is a situation tomorrow. And then we'll be back Monday. Maybe we actually go see Michael tomorrow. Hey, yo. We'll have to see. The only way you actually know is if we're able to go see Michael is if you're here on the movie, the biopic. You know, we're here on the live stream Wednesday night this week, and you will be able to, I guess, see if we're doing a Michael Jackson biopic reaction or not. So we'll see you all then. Enjoy the next couple of days, and go see the Michael Jackson biopic, even if we're not able to. Peace.